Oh, damn. Yikes.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't need to be neither. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. But welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And we are joined here today with one of our brothers in pod, Mr. Chappell of the Recap
Hey,
Kickback podcast. Sir, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited. I was so happy I got the message to come talk to y'all about this, and so I'm ready. I'm ready. The only thing I'm sad about is that I think I'm see Jazz next week, but where you gonna be at?
Mm.
It's a wrap for me, bro. It's a wrap for me, dog. It's a wrap for me.
Yo, that
We finally
Oh,
sounds
came
so
out.
sad.
I
yeah.
was
It's
like,
like
it's
It's
not like
like,
I'm gonna die
what's
soon. No,
happening?
yeah, like,
Oh
damn,
my
it
my
is.
nigga
God.
didn't make it. Yeah,
Shit, he's letting us know
yeah.
ahead of time.
He not gonna be there,
No,
bro.
no.
He only
So
got so
they,
much
so at
time.
my job, they did a blackout where you couldn't take off days. Now you can finally take off days, but as far as like everything that has to be associated with it, that's a lot. That's a lot. So unfortunately, I'm going to miss this one. But I did talk to Jazz in advance. No more trips around Father's Day, which typically it all is in sync with her birthday. What? I'm not the only person that says this. Jazz
It don't
Jazz
matter.
moves. Jazz moves as a single lady. And when I say that, she doesn't have any attachments. So even the women have said, "Why are you doing stuff on Mother's Day?"
The fact you should have, instead of saying single, you should have said childless.
Okay, childless. My bad.
Oh, Jazz, you're not single?
Focus,
Exactly. So you got
Chappelle.
two questions to answer. You should have just let me ride. Look
But it,
at Chappelle.
but
Why am I
getting to
coming to the
the
trip again?
wow. The point he was trying to make was Jazz travels a lot around parents' holidays, Mother's Day or Father's Day,
Hmm.
because
But
I ain't
she
got no kids.
and regardless of any of that, fuck the kids. Jazz has a living mama and daddy. Why ain't you with them on these holidays?
Because I had just seen them niggas. Like,
So even beyond that, because I'm supposed to be with them. Like, what are you doing? But this one, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to miss. I am sad about it because I don't like missing stuff. I don't like putting my name attached to stuff, and I'm not gonna be there. And I was excited, but then I said the wrench that got through at my job was one thing. I lost it. So much has happened within the last month. What's been going on with you, Chappelle? Man, I say you done went through forever. You know, you look like that nigga. By the way,
I did get that. I did get that a few times actually. I'm not even lying. A few people were like, I was like, y'all like to attach me to any ADHD, autistic. Every time somebody pop up, they always like,
they
Chappelle, is that you? I said,
at least
God
they don't.
damn.
At least they don't attach you to dark skinned niggas with glasses, because them the niggas that they attach me to. That's why you see. I don't
Chappelle,
even wear the glasses no more because I know 'em.
Chappelle, doesn't
Hmm.
he look like Lil Ray a little bit?
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's no.
So
This
that's
man
a
does not look
no.
like Lil Rel. You just no, no,
I'm
no.
gonna send you
Stop
a
it.
picture with Jason with his glasses on, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I
You're like,
Jazz, I see it. It's okay."
No, no,
yeah. No,
not at all.
I got that a few times, forever comparison. But yeah, that was good. That was dope. We've been popping the balloon over there, at least talking about the Netflix version of that. And now this week, we're gonna start our Flavor of Love recap. So we're gonna go way back and watch
Oh,
season
y'all
one of Flavor
going?
of Love. And we're tagging everybody in. So if the Was It Good Though podcast wants to join us for an episode of Flavor of Love, by all
Man,
means, we're gonna go live on YouTube and talk about some of the heyday. It just kind of
That
just
was yes, please
relax
let
a little
some
me
good
bit.
let me
times.
let. That's, I just need to know what I just didn't notice the slate so I can watch the episode. I need to know because y'all ain't
Yeah.
talking. Because yeah, I'm there. I'm with that.
Okay. Sounds good. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on over on recapkickback.com. Just we're about the halfway point through the year. We got 2,000 YouTube subscribers, so we're pushing along, man. But hopefully we got some more stuff coming. And like I said, I'm really excited about this Flavor of Love thing because I just feel like it's gonna be some good energy for the podcast. So I can't wait for y'all to join me as well.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. But for episode 157, as we creep on our 3-year anniversary. 3 years. It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
Jesse,
God.
do you remember who the first guest was on the podcast?
Uh, yes, it was Swerve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He don't fuck with us no
It's
more though.
crazy.
Damn.
I thought about it, but he does it by himself.
I know.
He's doing quite a bit now. Just saying I'm like on just different stuff with him. He's back in the movies. I see he getting like the early premieres and whatnot. So shout out to Swerve. I forgot third eye real, I think is what I know he had some issues on the internet with the pages and whatnot, but I think he
Yeah,
finally has
got that
settled
figured out.
down, got that all squared away, situated. But for 157, man, we gotta take it back. We gotta take it back, man. Rush Hour, the original. This is when Chris Tucker was on top of the world, as they like to say back in the day. I know Jazz, you kind of mentioned today, you was like, man, why didn't we do the second one? You know, I didn't know if you had a Diddy joke or what was
I did not have a Diddy joke, not at all. I was just getting more
okay.
laughs out of the second one.
Do you think number
Um,
two is a better movie than the first one?
Yes, yes,
ooh, that
I
might be a
definitely
hot
do.
take.
Is
I
it?
haven't. I haven't watched the second one in a long time, so I can't judge it. I just watched the first one, and I have some thoughts. Yeah, I know I'm gonna come in here and say the opposite of what y'all finna say. So go. So I can't wait to talk about that. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the second one in so long, and then there is a third
Yeah,
one.
they got
The
a third
one,
one.
the
I
one
Speak.
definitely
behind
don't remember
Jazz,
that one.
the one behind Jazz is number three, actually.
Oh shit, for
Uh,
real?
yeah, they grown. Yeah, that's not the.
Oh
Grown,
my.
old, nigga.
Yeah,
They
they
grown,
old
grown.
old in
I was
that
just trying
picture.
to get something where I was matching Carter.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
color coded.
But now of course, introduction, we get introduced to our characters in the very beginning. Lee, Inspector Lee. I'm gonna go with you, Chappelle. Of course, you got the contrast between him and Carter because his situation very serious. Of course, they pulling guns. It's a chase scene. What did you think of the introduction to Lee's character?
Watching this back, I'm like, man, remember Jackie Chan? And not to say that Jackie Chan is gone, but you remember the early days when like Jackie Chan fever was a thing? Like Jackie Chan had a cartoon, Jackie Chan was in all the movies, and Jackie
Yes.
was the one who was known for doing his own stunts.
Mm,
Nowadays, you see a movie
mm-hmm.
like this, and you just assume that the person is not doing their own stunts. Like Scarlett Johansson not doing that little leg twist thing that she always doing on
Nope.
people. Like she's not doing that in real life. Jackie Chan is doing everything. He jumping up walls and whooping people's ass. So I was like, I got it, and I felt like I was teleported back to a time where karate mattered. Remember when karate was
Mm.
like this special thing that we had to highlight, and now it's like we got is the Karate Kid, and that just reminds people that karate is a thing. Like it's like it's completely changed. It was the most popular thing in TV, and
You're
now
right.
don't nobody talk about it. So yeah, I was back in it from the first minute of the movie.
Mm.
So you mentioning the stunts and you got going. Are you a Mission Impossible fan by chance?
Yeah, I mean, look, Mission Impossible stunts are like different than Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, it feel like when Jackie Chan says he do his own stunts, like he about to go and run up that wall, and there's nobody to catch him. There's no like mat, there's no harness. All the stuff Jackie Chan did, running across that beam and all that, he did that in real life, and you can't change my mind. So that's a little different than Mission Impossible.
It
I agree.
is.
Now, so that wasn't my question. However, I
Hmm.
was going to ask you if you had to pick between the two stuntmen, as greatest stuntman, would you pick between Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan? It
Jackie
sounds
Chan,
like you have a shot.
Yeah, because Jackie Chan doing that stuff for real. Like, Jackie Chan literally was on the top of that bus, jumped up, grabbed the sign, jumped
Mhm.
down, slid through the window of a taxi, and that was like a Tuesday afternoon. Tom Cruise got to get in shape and lean and do some lunges before he can do the stunts that he be doing from harnesses and stuff like that. Jackie Chan, no, this is different. This is so different.
I feel that. I feel that.
Chappelle, you were on the right side of history today.
Yeah,
I don't think
look,
he might.
Thank
He
and
you.
might.
uh, and all my and all the rest of my opinions you gonna agree with too. I promise.
He might. He might. We might. He may not. He might not be on the right side of history. So now we're gonna do a real history lesson here before I get to jazz. It's for jazz, but before I get to jazz, Chappelle. So you've seen the Mission Impossible movies. Yes,
I ain't
no?
seen all of them. They started dropping, they started making up ones and just these most recent. Like, hold on now. I think Mission MI1 and MI2 for sure. And then
Okay, that
what?
and that's you know what?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You say Mission Impossible 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this without trying to sway you in this
Okay.
conversation. So last week, me and Jazz had a conversation. She
Mm.
asked me what percentage of plot armor did Tom Cruise have in the film? Now, I failed to answer this question because I don't like how she was framing me in this. She put me in a box to make me answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, now I have sat back. I have I have looked up this definition. I've had some conversations about movies, genres, and how they run and what's supposed to happen. So
Okay.
for me, 50% is the proper answer for Tom Cruise. Now, I feel as it's 50%. Now, Chappelle, have you seen Scream?
I
The
seen
original.
Scream. Yeah, I seen OG
Okay.
Scream.
My question to you, Sydney character in Scream versus Hunt's character, Ethan Hunt's character in Mission Impossible. Who did you have more fear for making it to the end of their movie?
Okay. So if we're just talking about Mission Impossible 1,
We're only talking about the first one.
just the first one,
Just the first one.
I think I would go I think I would go with Mission Impossible. I think Mission Impossible I was probably more nervous about because for Scream it felt like it was the story of Sydney kind of winning. You know, it's like she got to survive all this kind of stuff, but we got to catch the bad guys. To me, Scream always feels like Scooby Doo. It's like we got the mask, and at some point we got to rip the mask off and find out who it is, and that's kind of how it ends. I didn't really know where Mission Impossible, you know, like the win condition for Mission Impossible. Now, knowing that there was then a Scream 2, at that point, Sydney had the most plot armor of any other person in the world. Now, we know that won't last. But for the first like 3 or 4 films, it was like when you turn it on, Sydney gonna make it. She's going to make it. And if she doesn't, what are we gonna be talking about? And for a while, we got away with it. That's how I feel.
So, Jazz, my question to you, same question, just the first question. With those two movies, Mission Impossible, because you recently watched Mission Impossible within the your like not you've seen it before, but it's fresher on your mind. Now, I don't know how you felt when you first seen Scream, but Scream 1 versus Mission Impossible, who were you more concerned with making it out of that film? Well, not who were you more concerned with. Who did you believe would make it out of the film?
Is it cheating if I said I didn't think either one would die?
Nope, you have to
Uh,
pick. Which brings me to my net. Bring me to as I can continue this your conversation. This is not agree to disagree. That segment has died. This is die with your decision. You must pick. There is none of that pick, no ledge stuff. You have to pick a person.
Then I'm going to say Sydney.
Okay. Now, what would it be? So I'm gonna before we get too lost in the tea weeds, I'm gonna make sure I keep it contained and light. So, what makes you feel like what made you fear? What made you think Sydney wouldn't have made it out of that film?
I guess to think that around that time of probably when I watched it, you
Mhm.
had some movies where the person that you thought would survive through the entire thing would, and then you had movies where they didn't. The end of Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, Freddie, like Nancy and her friends drove off in a car, and it was Freddie's hood on there, and it was both Wes Craven films. So
Mhm.
you had some kind of endings where it's just like, damn, so the villain kind of won. Now with
mhm.
Mission Impossible, like I told you last week, their mission where everybody got killed except for Ethan, I was like, oh, this nigga is able to get himself out of things, was able to solve the entire situation. He just had to make sure old girl was on his side or not, the wife that he was sleeping with. Like he already knew that Jim was alive. Him finding out late, like he suspected it. So that made me think, oh shit, okay, so obviously he's very intelligent and able to figure things out. So I would say between the two characters, I had more faith that Ethan will make it to the end more than Sydney.
Because of he's him being trained in the situation versus a 17-year-old. in just a regular world, real world. That's what you're going with.
Yeah, then it's a horror movie.
So in those two movies, who do you believe had more plot armor, Jazz? Just those two movies, Mission Impossible versus Scream. Who had more plot armor?
Ethan was outside of on a train with a helicopter in front of him. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say Ethan in Mission Impossible 1.
Got you. So it's not the lady that was in the house that ran up the stairs. Well,
That
we
closed
we
the door
know
that her dad couldn't get in the first opening scene. That's why Ghostface wasn't able to get in, and then she emailed the police
emailed the police. She did all that without them not being able to come. Now,
through that door.
I
Have
want,
you
I
have you
want,
ever
I
had a
want
door
to
like that before? I
the
feel like we
movie
getting
begin.
off the topic.
I'm on the same topic now. I'm just saying. Reason now. This is the second. This is the second scene in that movie. The first scene in that movie is them busting through the other girl's house and actually hanging. Well, they didn't catch her, but
Well,
they did
actually,
eventually catch her and hung her up.
he threw a chair through a glass window.
But
That's
I'm
how they
just
got
saying,
in.
if they really wanted to, they would have got to her. I think the plot armor is more in Sydney's corner than it is in Ethan's corner.
Okay.
In that, it just in those moments because this is a lot of time they had it dead to rights, and it's just like we just gonna fuck. It's just like we just gonna fuck with
Yeah.
her a little bit. It's the whole which is why I said I feel like Mission Impossible was like the Scream of the action movies because there's a lot of stuff that they talk about that you probably just wouldn't in a real life situation. It's like, no, we just gonna kill these niggas. I don't need to tell y'all nothing about what's happening, my plan, why I did this. It doesn't have to be the Scooby Doo of the situation, as Chappell said, but that is the reason in that. But yeah,
So this week, Ethan has 50% plot armor.
yeah, I give him 50%. I give it out, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think every movie or TV show I watch is gonna be 50% because it's not. It's I mean, because it has to get along in the story. But then you have something like we're Departed where they kill everybody. Everybody got to die in the film. So it's like, yeah, Leo made it out of this situation, but Leo just got killed by this nigga who ended up getting killed as the movie is fucking going to the credits.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Look, I love a TV show that shows that anybody can die. You know, we all were on that Game of Thrones roller coaster at one point or another where it's like
Mhm.
if you didn't read it, then your fave could be gone tomorrow. And there were little hints that it was coming, but it still caught you off guard.
Yeah.
I love that. And I like that the show kept going. You know, like, all right, well, they dead, let's move on. But we don't get a lot of that. So yeah, especially back in
Mhm.
these days, like the thing with Sydney is that she was the face of Scream, the same way Tom Cruise is the face of Mission Impossible. So like
Right.
if they end, that ends the franchise. And what we didn't know back then was that they had a lot more movies to make and a lot more money to make off of those two people's likeness. Both of them being 5'7" and surviving all of that was crazy anyway. So so I don't know if it's plot armor or bad writing, but I'll take it.
I mean, you don't have to be tall to survive.
But they was
Short
both
people
the same height, and they both got through all that stuff. It'd be different if like Tom Cruise was built for the Mission Impossible.
like
He
Dom.
was. I mean, you got to be a little bit bigger than like 5'7". I mean, like helicopters and bullets, and he fighting everybody. Like Sydney just had to fight a couple high school students. Like
That's true. Ethan was
I'm
going
just
through a
saying,
lot of shit.
Ethan was going through. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he kind of
But
went through
in
way more than her.
I mean, he did now in his situation. He went to academy. He done got trained. He did all that extra bullshit. He's trained for that. So he's trained to be off the grid and never be seen and never get caught. Yo,
Mm.
but back to this movie here. So Jazz, contrast to the Jackie Chan scene, we get Carter in this botched police scene that he has showing the type of cop he is. What did you think of this scene with Carter and him trying to purchase this C4?
Man, when I saw this with fresh eyes, I was just like Smokey in a leather jacket. But like Carter is hilarious to me. And I love what Chris Tucker was able to bring to his character. All this sarcasm. And then I completely forgot about the cops that kind of fucked up their whole situation. And he was just like, get out of here. And then like how everything just transpired. But then I love how they were able to go back to him later on in the movie because they was just like, okay, he knows about bombs and C4
Mm-hmm.
and the trigger. So he was able to utilize him. So, but not Carter, he talked too much. But I think in the second one they referred to him as 7-Eleven. His mouth is always open.
Yeah. This man is like like a very iconic black movie character. You know, like I don't know if white people hold him in the same esteem, but I was there, y'all, when this movie dropped. Okay, like I was there. I was outside. The Chris Tucker dance was a thing. You know, like Chris Tucker was making this. This man is a comedian, and
Yeah.
now he's an action star. Like we saw that from people like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx. Like look at the names he's surrounded by that did that route. Even to a lesser extent, like Will Smith. He's not as much of a comedian, but you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like so, this was a time where you could take a random comedian and make them an action star. You ain't like making Lil Rel, you know, the lead of Rush Hour 5 or whatever. You know, he not about to be out there fighting crime. So it was cool to see Chris Tucker in this extremely racist movie. Oh my God.
It's funny
Wait,
you say that, but in Get Out, he is the cop in that movie.
He a cop, but he ain't an action star. He more like a security guard that
wait.
showed up too late.
So, Chappelle, you caught me with the little rail. Sorry, Jason.
I
It
look
was the
nothing
first
like
comedian that
nigga. I
came
am
to
not
mind.
tripping.
I don't I'm with you, Jason.
But who do y'all think? Who's y'all favorite black male cop from the 90s? Because you have a nice amount.
Right. And then it's like each of them probably have done like variations of that. Like you have Martin Lawrence as a cop in Big Mama's House, but he's also I think he's also like a criminal turned cop in Blue Streak.
Yeah.
Which
Criminal turned cop? No, he's not a criminal turned cop. He's just a criminal who's
But
moonlighting as a cop.
who's
right.
He's not
moonlighting
a
as a
cop.
cop. Yeah, he's not a cop, but I would count that as one of my favorite roles. I prefer him in that than I do Big Mama's House.
We got him in
Nah,
we
I
got him
get
in
that.
Bad Boys.
Yep, Bad Boys. Yep, with Martin Lawrence, with Will Smith.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Bad Boy number Martin and Bad Boys 1 was the best cop he was. I don't like
Uh-huh.
I get, it got to be a little bit sillier, but I wish they
Too
would have
much.
made it a little bit, but it may have been, how he was, where he was at that point. They just kind of more so aimed at Will Smith because it almost, like I said, as you keep going, it kind of is like they separate them two, where it kind of feel like Will Smith featuring Martin,
Hmm.
in those later movies. But definitely, I think Will Smith and Bad Boys 1 would be one of my favorite '90s cops. If I nobody going with Ice-T.
Like as like and like a franchise.
From New Jack
No,
City.
he's a favorite cop, '90s cop. He's
Yeah,
a
Yo,
'90s cop.
he was not a good cop.
yeah.
Yo, he got
Um
Pookie killed. Hell.
yeah, but I was even thinking about like Law and Order,
Oh,
like
okay, that's a good point.
Tutorial.
yeah, like and I don't know, like he's a good cop there, but he also ridiculous, you
His
know what I'm
son,
saying?
he ain't catch his son though. Yeah, that boy, his stepson was a fucking menace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ludicrous.
Right. Ludacris was a monster. Oh my God. We don't give Ludacris enough credit for that role. But yeah, then you got like what Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop, but that's probably not that's not technically a 90s movie.
I mean, three.
Um,
I think three came out in the '90s though.
yeah, and then the most recent one, like last year.
Yeah.
I didn't hate
So
it.
I guess he counts.
He does. I
Yeah,
think he
I would
count.
say so.
What
I think
about
another
what
48
about
hours came out in '90s
what
too.
about is it Mission Impossible? I mean not Mission Impossible, sorry. Independence Day wouldn't be a cop, right? He was like a military dude?
Yeah, he was in military.
He was a military.
Okay.
Emmy of the what?
Yeah,
Nah, he
okay.
wasn't.
Oh,
Emmy of the
Denzel.
state.
Nah.
No, he wasn't. He was a
Oh
lawyer
Denzel.
in
yeah,
Enemy of the
Denzel.
State. He was a lawyer in
Okay.
that. But
Uh,
Denzel and
Denzel
Fallen.
and
and Fallen.
what's the other movie called? Dang it, I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, he did
Uh,
another cop movie too.
it wasn't the Bone Collector. He worked with the cops in the Bone Collector.
Was Wesley? Was
Right.
Pelican
Wesley
Brief?
Snipes?
No, that's not what I'm thinking of either. Ricochet. Ricochet is what I'm thinking of.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah, that's him too. And Denzel was a cop a lot.
he was. A lot of people say he plays a cop all the time. Jason, I think is a lot of people. But did you say Wesley Snipes?
I said Wesley have
He
a
was
cop movie
in
in the
Passenger
90s?
57 and Murder at 1600.
Okay, that's it.
Damn.
That's it.
Black
What
men
about
was out here as cops in the 90s.
The ops. The
We got
ops.
Crazy.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
He was Alex Cross.
He
Yeah.
technically a detective. He just worked with the cops. I had to cape for Alex Cross, man. He not really the police. He like a police detective. Like he like a forensic
That's
scientist
true.
This-
pretending
this
to
is
be a
true.
cop.
This is
You
true.
know.
Damn. That's cool. I didn't even
Um,
think it was so many black cops in the 90s.
Yeah.
yes. Oh, you got Makai Fife. No, not Makai Fife. Omar Epps. I confuse them two niggas all the time.
Oh,
Omar
from
Epps
In Too
from the
Deep.
movie In Too Deep. Yeah,
Mm.
Which one of them was which one of them black niggas was on was it
I told
New
you.
York
I told
Undercover? Which one was it? Not well,
Neither one.
I
Oh,
normally
Oh,
Makai. That's a Makai.
uh,
is it?
he was in Rod. Macau Alpha. He was Shannon husband in
Malik Oba. Malik Yoba.
yeah.
Malik Yoba. He the third one in that little evolution line. We always forget about Malik.
Well,
Oh,
Malik
boy, I
started
said
kind of
goddamn
wilding.
Malik.
He
Woo.
started wilding during COVID, so he put himself on that list.
We saw what he did to Janet,
Oh.
but we saw what she pushed him to. It got
Yeah.
messy.
But yeah, no, the buddy cop, I mean, the black buddy cop, I think definitely think that's a thing.
Mm.
I think everybody I think say gotta go through it, but I think that was the thing back in the day, playing in it. Well, you got, don't forget, Danny Glover as well. He was a cop.
Oh yeah, from Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
He was a
Weapon,
We
yeah.
don't
cop.
we don't really see that too much today. Like the
I, don't,
black male buddy cop in projects. Not
I mean, Ride Along is a big one.
with Ice
But
Cube.
then Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, yeah.
When did that drop?
It,
Like
it's been a minute.
it's when like the
Yeah.
2010. It was in the tens. It was in the
So
tens. They both came out. You got Let's Be Cops with Damon Wayans' son and Jake whatever his name. Um Buddy
mm.
Cop film.
Yeah.
Now you
It's
I
like we
can't
don't
think of
do
that.
that
You
no
got
more.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it don't seem like it's done
Niggas,
that much.
niggas don't like the cops. Yeah, who want to be a fucking cop?
Right. I was like, Queen Latifah was the equalizer for about 8 seasons, and I'm
she's
sure she was not the cop.
she's
They just
still the
Yeah.
canceled that.
equalizer. I feel like
Well, no, it's
Yeah, they just
canceled.
canceled.
They
It's canceled
canceled the
now.
oh
They
shit for
equalizer.
canceled it.
real.
Yeah.
They took her out, man. But she wasn't a cop. She just was fighting crime from her house.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But yeah, no, you don't really catch the cop, the fun cop anymore. I guess maybe they're not playing with
We're not
that
playing with that no
premise
more.
too
Yeah.
much. Nah, because
I
you got
mean, we
them
had
niggas like
Cross. Oh shit, you got Cross, you got Paradise.
we said buddy cop. We didn't say
Yeah,
serious
and he
cop
was Secret
because
Service
we got
in
That's true.
Paradise.
That's
we
true.
have a
Yeah.
lot. I have a lot of serious cop a lot of serious cop
So niggas
roles
don't
out
be
there.
making jokes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah,
There ain't nothing funny about being the police no more.
It's serious. It's serious over here in these streets, cuz. But Chappell, you did mention some of the racism, and I think it's a bit more apparent as you get older and you watch it because some of the biggest one or the first one you see was them saying they needed a cop to stick around with Jackie's character. They didn't want him poking into their investigation, and they needed somebody that they were gonna stick with him. And of course, they reach out to the LAPD and they give the job to Carter. And Carter is just like, so what he come into the house, he feeling as if he needs to be the man. He gonna be the one that's about to crack the case. It's like, bro, you ain't cracked the case yet. How are you gonna start on this one?
Mhm.
And I feel like was it not kind of like a BS? I mean, would y'all have taken that assignment just to take somebody around and keep them from?
How am I say no to my captain?
Yeah, he was lucky to have a job. He did just blow up a street corner,
Right.
injure two cops, and make somebody lose a finger.
You in trouble. You can't
Yeah,
say no. So
yeah. To you know what? To me, I don't think when I was younger watching this movie, I realized that he was a bad cop. Like he was not he was
he
not doing a good
wasn't.
job,
He
right?
wasn't.
Like yeah, like when I growing up now, like looking at it, you're like, oh, this dude sucked. Like Jackie Chan was like a decorated detective. The consul Han or whatever was like, fly him from China to come be by my side because I don't trust none of y'all. And they were like, let me find the worst detective we have and give him to y'all. So it's like. It's not like they like, oh, it's East meets West. It's like Jackie Chan is walking around with essentially a child. This man is not good at his job at all, and he's now trying to like. It's like he's babysitting him, but it's really the other way around.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. For
So
sure.
now, even though he wasn't a great cop, he used the resources he had to try to pull some things together for them. Y'all
He
didn't
was,
like it. Y'all didn't like his resources.
he was resourceful, but he wasn't a good cop.
I
Yeah,
mean, it comes along with it comes in time. You can't everybody can't be a good cop,
So,
Jazz.
Jason, your
Not at the
kids,
beginning.
your kids get kidnapped, and you need an officer to help find them. You choosing Carter?
No. I don't think you have a choice in who you can have help,
If you
go out
had a
there and get the
choice, is you
Of
gonna
all the
choose
black
my?
cops we named,
If
he's on the
right,
bottom of the list.
Yeah, he's there at the bottom. He's there at the bottom.
You
I
picking Carter or Martin Lawrence from Big Mama's house?
Martin Lawrence.
I'm definitely picking Martin.
See, I'm just.
Look, I'm picking Denzel from The Bone Collector before I'm picking Carter, and he couldn't move. He was rolling around in a chair, paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
But
But I guess when he was going through this though, he was giving Jackie some of the game of the things that happened in America. And he kept, it was kind of funny. He walked in, he's like, "What's up, my nigga?" He just saying it everybody that come into the movie. And I'm like, I feel like that's the only time in the movie he said that. So it was like I guess they really wanted to really land that joke. How did that land for you, Chappell?
Well, there ain't no more black people in the movie. So he didn't have nobody else to
right,
say it to
yeah.
except everybody in that building. Had there been one other black person, I think he would have, he
You would have
probably
got
would have
it
gave
off.
my dog. Yeah, he would have got one off. But no, he says to Jackie Chan's character, he says, "Do exactly what I do." He said, "Follow my lead." And so Jackie sees him do the "What's up, my nigga" a couple times. And then trying to blend in, he says, "What's up, my nigga?" to the wrong person. He shouldn't be saying this at all. But back then, this is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like Jackie Chan threw a racial slur at them people and then also beat their ass. Like, sir, this is not, should we be supporting this type of
Exactly.
propaganda? Like, you can say the N word as long as you can beat my ass. I mean, I guess that's technically the rule anyway. Like, if you can't pop me, then I guess you can't do what you want.
Imagine him finish
That's kind of
beating your
wild.
ass and then be like, "Yeah, nigga," and then they
Yeah,
leave
I didn't
your
want no
ass.
problems. He said, I didn't want no problems. Sir, you just hit me with a pool stick after you called me a nigga. I didn't call you a nigga.
Yeah,
How am I
nah.
the problem?
I
Like,
said I thought I had this same exact thought when I said, "Wait a minute, hold on now, Jackie. You call him a nigga, but
right.
you understand." But he told Carter previously. He said sometimes you like to be quiet, let you talk. You like to talk, and sometimes you just see how much of an ass you are when you talking. I'm like, bro, so you know all this other stuff, but you knew what you was doing when you did it.
Jack Han was a racist, and and that was his chance to say what he wanted to. He couldn't say that to Carter. He was like, I can't say that to Carter. I gotta help find this little girl. But the rest of you niggas,
I think he was innocent in that moment. He fucked
you
up.
think so?
Players
He
fucked
fucked
up.
up.
That man
I
was
mean,
not innocent.
it's definitely Carter's fault, but I love it. You talk about resources. Carter in the back room with his cousin. That is so real. That is so real. To this day, I definitely got cousins that if I called and had the right conversation with them, we could get some stuff done. and they definitely don't know, like people don't know that they have like family that they look out for. And so when he's like, "Man, I should take you in, but it'll kill Aunt Betsy." Like, man, why you bring her into this?
He said, "Man, let my suit go. Your mama gave me this nigga for
Yeah,
Christmas." They're like, why he giving me this whole red suit, man? Hold on. First, secondly.
I love that scene.
Nah,
Hmm.
that was funny. I think my favorite scene, one of the favorite scenes from this movie, is prior to this when they were going to Chinatown. He's like,
Mhm.
"See, it's like you're back at home." Like
You might see one of
rewatching
your
it.
cousins. Yeah, you might see one of your cousins around here. He told that man, "Wait in the car. I'm hungry. What you want? A cup of noodles?" I said, "This doesn't have to be this racist, y'all."
And you would think a black man or an Asian man would have been right. This is white people writing this.
Yeah. Okay, you wait. Hold on.
They were-
The who wrote this?
some white people. They
Wait.
were thinking of every racist joke they can think of.
You know, they was in that room laughing. He was like, "Yo, yo, yo,
They
check this out. I got this." They in Chinatown, and he get lost, and Carter can't find them because they all got the same back of the head. Oh, that's great.
fuck that hell. Even if it was the front of the face, he would have been confused. Now look, have you seen that tweet? Well, it wasn't a tweet. It was a clip of Maya Brock Akil. She was saying, how they did the Jabari scenes on Girlfriends, and she was like, they
Mhm.
just had a whiteboard and they just write every J name they could, and they were like, "Hey, we got a Jabari scene. You get one from the board," and that's just how they always kept a different one. So I'm pretty
Mm.
sure the white people that wrote Rush Hour had a board full of just Asian things that they were going to say. Because just like when he pulled up on Junta, he said, "I've been looking for your sweet and sour ass." Like, bro, what?
I'm not laughing at the joke. I'm laughing at the audacity of these people.
Oh, that's what you're
But
laughing at.
but Jazz, I hear Jason. I hear him. But isn't there a world where they said Chris Tucker cook and he just came up with these jokes on hand? Like, who knows if there was even a script? Because then he said, "I'm finna drop his ass off at Panda Express." I said, "Christopher, Chris, it's not okay. It's not okay. I do not condone Chris."
So
I kind of blame Chris Tucker.
I'm not gonna lie, because and this is a joke that was in the second movie because I watched it today when Chris Tucker was running up the steps and they was in I forgot where they was at, maybe Hong Kong in the second one. I don't remember. But he was trying to go find Lee. He was running up steps. Somebody was coming down. They said, "Move, Kobe." Oh,
You know, that's a good point. Do you think they had to balance the racism by like the first
yes.
movie was so racist that like you got now that it's the opposite, you gotta lead into like why your black ass in China.
You have to.
I mean, he could hit. I think on that. I think he hit him with. Do you understand the word of the country? And I think Carter hit him. Lee hit him with on a second one. He was like, "I don't understand what the hell you saying,
Yo.
um it yeah, I forget how racist Rush Hour is until you see this man like, do you speak English? Do you understand? I'm like, bro, why are you yelling at this man? He not deaf. He like you yelling it louder. It's not gonna make him understand English, man.
The fact that he did it off rip, like you didn't
Right.
even think maybe he does know English. You
Yeah.
just immediately assumed it. It's just like,
Right.
damn, Carter. Come on
Looking
now.
back, looking back, Jazz, I just thought Chris Tucker was loud all the time, but then I realized it might have been an acting choice to be yelling in the first few scenes because he thinks he can't understand him. And to to Carter's defense, Lee is making him feel that way. He is definitely like not talking on purpose and looking at him all goofy in the face, just trying to make a fool of him. But the answer is not yell at this man as if he cannot hear you. That's different.
No, Jackie was being an asshole, bro. He was just looking at this.
Yeah, yeah,
he, he,
yeah.
I
like,
mean,
bro, what the,
I get it. I get it. I see
you
why
would
he
have been
did
a,
it.
you would have been an asshole too.
Yeah. It's like all them times when we log on to record, you be like, "Jazz, can you hear me?" And I'd be like, "Nah." I don't even be saying like my voice is not coming out. And Jason be like, "Shit, my headphones." Like he be trying to
That's crazy.
troubleshoot.
That's crazy. That's
Nigga,
crazy. She
nigga,
just
nigga,
admitted
niggas,
that in front of you.
niggas is fucked up, bro. It's
That's
okay.
wild.
It's okay.
This is always a hostile. Every time I come here, I be like, did I leave my
That's
gun?
why she got.
Like,
That's why she got. That's why she got when she wear a headset. It got a crow across her forehead just to keep them up on her ears.
What? You at least could have said she trying to hide her
No,
big ass
don't try,
forehead, like,
don't try.
ears. What?
No. Don't try to help me with my joke. But we get
don't
to
try to
the
work
con,
out my joke.
the con. Hey, look at this nigga, man. Look at the conflict of the movie. Of course, like I said, we
Suyang.
see
Suyang.
Jung Tao. He was not. It felt like Lee lied. Like Lee lied and said, "Hey, everything we." But I guess it was like they caught all the artifacts. I guess that's what they stopped. But he didn't say, "Hey, we didn't catch nigga that was in there doing the shit though." So
He
then
want to fuck
they
up the
come.
vibes.
Shit,
I don't
they
need to.
fucked up.
I don't need to tell him everything. He's having a party.
Right.
Shit,
I told him the good parts.
it bit him in the back. Junta come to America, kidnap the daughter. And of course now they ransoming this little girl off for $50 million. What did y'all think of this conflict in the movie? Did y'all think it made sense?
Yeah.
I mean, there are moments that it doesn't make sense, but the movie acknowledges it. I think I like that. Like when Lee is looking at them being like, "Do you think somebody asking for $50 million would be in a building like this?" I was like, that is the most honest statement this movie makes is that like this is so clearly a trap. This is so clearly a trap. Like I've asked for $50 million in very specific bills, and you think I'm finna trap myself in the middle of the city? I ain't got no escape helicopter, no grotto to speed off in, no back. Like, you think I'm upstairs just hanging out, waiting on you to pull up? Like, where am I gonna go? Am I just about to jump out the window with all 50 million of my dollars after you give it to me? Like, what are you talking about? So he's like, look, think about this for a second. But yeah, $50 million is crazy. The fact that they were willing to pay $50 million for that little girl is crazy. That's a ton of money. That is a ton of money, especially in the 90s. That was like billions back then. In the 2000s. Like, we're like $50 million now. You're like, okay, all right, fine. I see it. But like back then, it was like, is this Chelsea Clinton? And so, yeah, I like the storyline. I do. But of course, I love when that little girl is in the backseat of that car singing all flat. Get kind of hectic and so. Oh God,
It reminded me of me. I
young.
said, I do that for that song as well. Mariah Carey just does it to you. Like, I'm not trying to sound great. I'm trying to hit the notes. And I might not be, but it's
Which
okay.
notes are you hitting if you're not trying to sound great? Like which?
Come, Jason, don't be sitting up here like you be singing like to
Like
sound
you just
good,
be
nigga.
singing.
You
You be
like
out this. You be singing,
what?
Jason.
I
Right.
be singing. I be singing to sound good. I
you-
don't just be singing.
You
Not
lying, nigga. You
Jason,
lying
you be
to
singing?
yourself. Hell.
Yes. Now,
2 weeks in a row, you lying?
whether people enjoy me singing, I don't sing for people. I sing for me.
So
I'm
you
not trying
enjoy
to
your singing?
serenade. Yes, I do enjoy my singing. That
So-
sound good to me.
So you will buy your album?
Yes, I would. I would. I sound good. I sound good to me. Hell, I be working on my shit too. Sometimes I record myself. Let me. I'm too low. I'm too low.
Holding his ear.
I'm too low. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Just
Jason be like,
check my level.
damn, I hit that note good.
Yeah, I do, man. Hey, but what was it? Mariah did what was it? One of the Mariah songs. She had a challenge, man. It was out, man. I was trying to sing. I was trying to get that motherfucker.
You was doing a Mariah Carey challenge?
Yeah, I was at the house. I was hitting that. I was singing that bitch a lot too. I said,
Wow.
I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
Did you?
In my head, I killed that shit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In my head, I killed that shit. I ain't never posted it.
Yeah, don't.
That shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be sound like, hey, just don't you post. Every time Jazz has a karaoke video, she posted it in mute. I'm sick.
Damn sure do.
I don't want
I'm not hearing nothing.
You see what I'm saying? And see, I don't have that fear. I step out there. I don't want to hear that.
Nah. If you gonna hear me singing, it's in person, nigga. You're not seeing that shit on socials. Nah. Not for me posting it.
Like, what you think gonna happen, Jazz?
Nah, I ain't trying to hear them jokes. Oh my God.
You like jokes.
Not them.
You're like, damn, they shooting cats in that motherfucker.
Motherfuckers are dying. Yo, it would be bad. Y'all sitting up like, I know it would be bad. I look at my own karaoke videos on mute, nigga. I don't be like, damn, Jazz, you got this. What?
She's like, I look like I sound good though. I look like
Chappell, I am dancing. I'm doing me a 2-step, all of that. The vocals are just not there, but I'm gonna know all them notes.
Yeah.
When you say notes, do you mean the lyrics? Yes, there we go. Come on, because it ain't.
Like, I know the notes. I'm not gonna sing the notes, but I know what they're supposed to. I know them. I'm not gonna sound. I'm not gonna sing it, but I know them. I can hear them.
What did y'all think of Juntao? What did y'all think of Juntao as an actual villain in the story?
That white man over here taking somebody else's culture.
Right. Was the white man Juntao? I thought I thought Sang was Juntao. So the white man was Juntao. Okay.
Yeah, he both of them. That's the big twist there is that they keep saying Juntao, so you think it's the other guy, the wipe yourself off, you bleeding, that guy. But it's really this white man named Thomas Griffin walking around calling himself Juntao.
We are all he said, we are all Juntao. What do you want? Like, damn, you niggas an organization around this bitch. But the white dude, when he did, I guess whenever they show with the white dude, whenever he said you should just pay the money, I'm like, yeah, this that nigga there.
Listen to him, yeah. Listen to him.
It's that nigga. Who? I don't. You don't see. I don't see that many people suggesting for you to pay or do whatever it is.
Normally, if you see it, it's a family member and it's out of fear. but that was just like an associate. So that's when it's just like, okay, you looking real suspicious. But we also saw him at the restaurant when they were about to do the first drop.
But friend or associate, can't nobody convince me to pay $50 million. It's like, just give
But
me
yo,
50
kid
million.
Chappell.
But 50 million, like, it's like $50 million. That's not just like cash on hand. You about to have to go liquidate. Like, we need to sit down and strategize. Even if I got access to that kind of money, it's not just like, just pay the money. It's like, no, okay, what we gonna do? And we got to rob Peter to pay Paul to make this happen. It's not just like a press the button and we gonna drop 50 mil on this kid. I just feel like that for that to be your real friend, y'all should have been sitting down putting your head together. Okay, how much you gonna put in? I got 48. Could you put in two? Since you my homie, you just gonna let me go broke? Why? Like you supposed to have my back. So that's why I feel like he shouldn't have folded so fast. I think that's what gave it away. It's like, yeah, this man, your homeboy, and the first thing he said was like, "Give them all your money. You're not even gonna try to fight crime. You just gonna give up."
I mean, he had it, and everybody is not Bruce.
Like,
the cops was just there to facilitate the whole exchange. The cops did not help at all whatsoever.
Right.
It was just like, all right, so we're gonna do the drop. Like you ain't got no detective that's gonna go investigate.
They ain't got nobody sneaking in, no negotiator on the phone. Like, hey, okay, well, is there anything we could do? The best negotiator, as I was being hard on Carter, but he was the best negotiator they had. He wasn't actually working in their favor, but at least he was able to keep that man on the phone. He said, "You talk too much." He's like, "Yeah, that's the point." But the rest of them was kind of like, just send the money. Just send the money. They weren't even trying.
So the scene, the scene that you were just talking about when they finally, I guess, when Chris Tucker gets into it with the man at the food stand, that was also another racist joke. And he was like, "Yeah," he said, what's this greasy shit? Y'all got anything? Some chicken? They said, we got this food, no soul food." He said, "I ain't even asked for no soul food. I said better food."
I'm not no bitch. I'm not no punk bitch.
I
ain't no punk bitch.
Hey, that's one thing we gotta talk about. There's so many quotables in this movie. There's stuff that I forgot even came from this movie. Because yeah, a lot of the things that he would say, I'd be like, damn, I really got that from Rush Hour. That's crazy. Ain't no punk bitch is real. That's like a top 10 moment for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like whenever you got Chris Tucker, it's gonna be some quotables or some stuff you're gonna be able to pull. But hey, that may just be black people in the movie. It's gonna be some shit you're gonna take somewhere whenever you get done seeing it.
Yeah. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I feel like everybody said that at some point after that, after that line in this movie. Like that was one of the big ones too.
And when they did, you knew they was being an asshole.
Wipe yourself off your bleeding or wipe yourself off your dead. I feel like if you funky enough with it, you could work that into real conversation too. There are a few of them.
I was gonna say, Chappell, who was saying that?
I definitely said that shit to people
before. Based on the conversation we had today, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely have said that to somebody. What y'all talking about?
Yo, our Discord been going crazy for like the past 48 hours.
Who bleed?
Them niggas just.
There was a question that was proposed. The question was, have you ever done it with someone on their cycle on the first meet? And everybody's like, "No, I ain't did that." And it's like, "Oh, well."
On the first meet is crazy.
Oh, the first meet, like
the first meet is crazy.
We didn't even get. How do you even get here? Like, how did we even get? So yeah, that's dust yourself off your bleeding.
The first meet is crazy. That's crazy. That's
the fact you and the sun hitting the sun is hilarious.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a crazy circle. Damn, Jason, that was good how you did that. Because I'm like, what? I like how you did that.
Crazy.
Wow.
That'll be all right. Not the first link, man.
Not the first link, man.
We gotta wait. We gotta wake up. Then I was called selfish because I wouldn't go the anal route, and I just went ahead. Like I just feel like we gotta work our way to that too. It ain't not the off the first link. Anal on the first link kind of crazy to me.
I don't know how we got here. Why you hold your titties?
This is chess. This is all chess. The titties are not in the screen. You can't see them. You why? Because they sit down. The chess is here. This is all chess. This is me.
I apologize.
This is me too, but they down here, nigga. This is chess. If I was in shape, I would have some pecs, nigga. Pecs, nigga. That would be, you know what I'm saying? My bad.
We done completely went off the rails. I'm like, honestly, now that you mentioned it, like I got, I'm solid. I just ain't got a lot of cleavage. I really got to work on this upper chest area. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let people see it as a glance. Yeah, I feel you.
Upper chest is good. It's the lower chest that ain't that good.
Yeah. Okay, I feel you. See, that's not so bad.
Both of you gentlemen are beautiful.
Thank you. Another quote after this movie. Cigaweed. I think I've said that to people before.
Yeah.
Blackanese is another one that have made its way into the consciousness at one point or another. So yeah, there's a few lines in there.
Yeah. Everybody with the little,
No.
Yep. What did y'all think about the character Johnson, who was the other female character? She was supposed to be Carter's partner, but he don't do partners.
That nigga said, and I'm sorry for telling people that we had sex at the Christmas party.
Carter was wild, man. Carter was crazy.
I don't, that's another one of them situations where they kind of set up the scene for her, and you wonder if she's gonna play a bigger role as it goes on. Of course, they show her failing to stop the bomb because allegedly they scared her. But she, I'm just saying, if you're in a bomb squad, you should be prepared for all noises and anything.
But wait. I'm just give my sister a bill.
We're not cutting her no bill. You're not cutting. Did you think you thought that she could stop a bomb?
She did stop a bomb.
No, she did at the end. I'm just saying, did you think when they called her to this situation, she was gonna stop a bomb?
Yeah, I did. I had faith in her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we ain't had no choice. That's C4. Okay.
She was able to see that remote and be like, C4, so she knew her information and everything, and she had been training and all of that. So I kind of wish they used her more, because when you see like her with Lee and Carter at the party, she was like in between them, but her character was just kind of like an extra. I'm like, does she have any dialogue in this? And she didn't. But
outside of when she was with the girl, she had dialogue at that point. But yeah,
she was like, well, we can't take this off because it has a trigger. So let's just but
moving about her.
She
my nigga, what? She can have two lines and it not be about her, Jason.
No, they really should have treated her like Cleo girlfriend and set it off, and then just removed all the lines and just let her be there.
Well, when I was growing up, my cousin had told us that was Adina Howard, and we all believed him. So for years,
who?
Queen Latifah girlfriend.
Okay,
my cousin told us that was Adina Howard, and me as a kid was like, okay, a t-shirt with my panties on, that's her.
Yeah,
I was grown and embarrassed myself in public when I said that out loud as an adult. And I was like, yeah, Adina Howard was in that movie. Everybody looking at me like, nigga, what are you talking about?
As who?
I'm like the woman with no lines, with the nice underwear, holding the little whatever, that damn, y'all know Adina.
Yeah, no.
Y'all seen her?
Yeah, y'all seen her. Did y'all know the actress that played Johnson is like 12 years older than Chris Tucker?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know. So when I was younger, I was like, Johnson bad. In my older days, I'm like, she all right. And so I went and looked her up. The actress has passed away, but I was looking at the age difference. It said she was born in 1959. I was like, ain't no way Chris Tucker was born in the 1960s. And so that's when I realized how much older she was. But she didn't look it. I'll give her credit. She didn't look like some old, like she was much older than him. It felt like the potential love interest did make sense. I guess it didn't look like it was awkward or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Damn, Chris Tucker born same day my daughter born on.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
I remember
He
that actress because she was in La Bamba. R.I.P.
Oh,
Richie.
okay. Yeah. I remember that too. Yeah. But yeah, she passed away in 2014. I don't even
Yeah,
think I knew that.
I definitely didn't.
mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not familiar with her though. Outside of this, I ain't seen none of that she
Yeah,
was
this the
in.
one. This the role. Her she was
She
nope, this the black role. I'm looking at the credits and yeah, this the one.
she was in
He
another
said
movie.
he said the black roll. Jazz said
Yeah, this the
Alabama.
one she would be famous for me for. You know what I'm saying? Like all the rest of these, I don't think I saw like I saw Alabama, but it's not the role. You know what I'm saying? Like
This is the role. That's kind of crazy because she didn't really say much.
I,
She was in Batteries Not Include The Incredibles.
She cracked that little joke on she cracked that joke on him when he said when he called her. When he called the chief, he was like, "Hey, I can't be doing this shit, man. You gotta call them back." He's like, "You either do this or you suspended 2 months without pay." I mean, where we going, man?
yeah.
um,
Did they do Carter wrong in that instance? Or was it just like, well, you've been wilding, so we got to humble you?
Pretty much.
he
Yeah,
had been
they,
he had
they
been
always trying
wilding.
to humble a black man. They can't just let us have nothing. And I don't. I'm not saying that he didn't ask for it because he did a little bit, but they was laughing at that man's face on the phone. Like, man, I'm showing up to work mad. And then by the end of this movie, he like, nah, I don't want to be FBI. I'm LAPD. I'm like, bro, honestly, transfer to a different. These people don't respect you. Go to a different jurisdiction or something like that. LAPD is not the place.
And
Well,
then
his
one of his go ahead, Jess.
I was gonna say his dad was an LAPD cop, even though he was walking around this entire movie. I'm FBI. I'm
Right.
FBI.
You gotta put some sauce on it sometimes. You work with him. I'm that too. At this point, I am the FBI. Look what I'm doing.
I mean, I feel you. I did one appearance on the True Crime Network, and I immediately went to my LinkedIn. True crime correspondent slash expert, detective, moonlighting ass
God.
podcaster. Like, did one true crime documentary, and I was like, well, sir, I work for True TV. I don't know who recap kickback. I don't know her. So nah. I totally get it. Sometimes you gotta
uh,
claim it.
Chappelle gonna be that dude that's in that meme. He's just like, just got me a job. That's looking at all them wires.
Man, damn, what was I fit to say? I forgot what I fit to say. If someone, oh, the other joke that when they were in that building, when he was trying to find out who Juntao was, and he was like, "Here, just take my ID and just let her." He said, "Here, just take my ID and show." He said, "But I'm not 6'1". Like that's the issue in the ID.
Right.
Chris looked crazy in that picture. I'm not
I'm
even
gonna
gonna
say that's not
lie.
Chris Tucker. That is not a picture of Chris Tucker. I don't know who that is.
I thought that was his daddy when he did. I'm like, why are you carrying your daddy ID with you?
But we find out that's what Lee is doing in the second movie. He was carrying his dad's badge around and he randomly gave it to Carter.
It's the pay. It was just like a little payoff, you know.
Just flash it fast. Flash it fast and won't nobody notice that that's a black man.
And then
And,
and then he dropped the shit.
and then he dropped it.
Did they even have guns up in there? Like they were just fighting.
Yeah,
He said put
they
the gun. He told him to put the gun down and fight.
Fight me like a man.
fight me like a man.
You
And then
gotta
which
not
one of y'all kick
Chappelle.
me?
You gotta say it like him.
I'm not doing
Oh
that.
well, I was saying no, I wasn't saying I wasn't saying it like Carter. I was
I'm
saying it
not
like
doing that.
saying, like, fight me like a man.
Yeah, fight me like a man. He was like, oh okay. Yeah, I was like, bro, in the words of Smokey, shoot him. Like, what? Shoot him. What? I'm playing.
That was. I feel like that was a little. I felt like a. Hey, I mean, I'm sure it's just what they were gonna say anyway, but it felt like a little Friday homage. She was like, "Put the gun down and fight like a man."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These,
When son put the
these.
gun,
I'm like, no, yeah, like Chris, pick the gun up, shoot this man.
man, he doing all them kicks. You gotta shoot him.
Right.
Oh shit.
Hmm. Did y'all have a
Wait. Oh, hold on. When they were talking about each other's father, when they were like, "Oh, my daddy is a legend. My daddy's this. My daddy caught a bullet." Chris Tucker says, out of nowhere, "My daddy could beat your daddy ass," and Jackie Chan is like, "Don't talk about my daddy." And Chris Tucker says, "Don't talk about my daddy." And to that I say, Jackie Chan did not talk about your daddy. You talked about his daddy. When he said his daddy could catch a bullet, you said my daddy could whoop your daddy ass. How you start the father conversation and then be like, "Hey, don't talk about my daddy either." It's like nobody said that about your daddy,
That's typically, I mean, that's typically how I go, man.
Having
nigga.
what they call it, a pissing match.
A pissing
Yeah,
match,
nah,
yeah, a pissing contest.
yeah, a dick swinging contest, one of the two.
Men crazy. It's like, how did we get here? We on a stakeout.
Let him do it. Let him do it.
But the scene where they went into the restaurant, and I'm like, Lee, they know your face. Why are you in there? Like, why?
What was it? What was he supposed to do though?
You going in to sit down as if it's just like, okay, they can definitely identify you. And they was about to poison him anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just, you
Yeah.
stick out.
But he couldn't really trust Carter. You know, when he had Carter, you know, when they were supposed to go make that drop, and Lee is like, "Hey, y'all need to get out the building. Y'all need to get out the building because nobody asking for that amount of money would be in that building." He like, "Ain't that right, Carter? Carter?
And niggas
Carter."
over there about it.
And
Why
this,
was he? Why was he behind the tree? I mean, not behind the pole. Why was he just standing there?
Why didn't they know what he looked like? Like, Lee has already chased him already.
yeah, yeah.
He didn't think the cops would see, like, who's that? I was
But see, but they didn't talk to him though, so he didn't give them any information on who they seen, what happened, or anything. He just went after him.
Yeah.
Jason, I got a question. You a cop,
Ooh.
and you out there, and you see Sang down the block. He not even that far in that fucking suit that he wearing. Are you not gonna have one of your folks be like, "Yo, go check out that dude over there"? Because he just looks suspicious. Now that might be me racially profiling.
It might be.
But
I mean, if he's in the proximity of a crime scene, yeah, I would definitely send someone to go check him out to see who that is.
He was not far. He just got downstairs.
I wonder, maybe he was watching to see if somebody went up in there, just make sure it went off. Because why was he even still there?
He just left.
Yeah. I mean, well, him being up there, so we said, why would he be up there with waiting on $50 million? He was in the proximity. I mean, it wasn't just left because he had to be there long enough for them to catch it and then leave. And he had ran out. So I guess, he went wherever he went. But
You think he ran down them steps in that abandoned building, or do you think he walked?
I would hope he ran.
So he got all the way downstairs, like, shit, I'm out
Was
of
he
breath.
even all the way up there? Do we know that he was even up there? We just know he was in the building. Was he?
The phone was up there. So yeah.
So he was like
went
at
up
the
there,
top.
made the call, and then hit the back stairway while they all came and stormed the building.
And
Why
it
they
wasn't no
pulled up.
elevator. So he had to run down them steps.
Oh yeah, he was gone.
Maybe he had a pole on the side, like on the number 2, and they just slid down.
Yeah.
Listen, that would be fire.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you thought he was like a firefighter, just
On that pole. But would y'all consider this a classic or a black classic?
Black classic.
This is not a black classic. This is not a black classic.
Ooh.
Chappell, you said classic?
Ain't nothing black about it except one person.
It's just Chris Tucker, but it's so racist that it's got to be black. Because it's like, because Chris Tucker the only black comedians could get away with the jokes that was happening in this movie. I just don't think, like, I can't even think of a '90s white actor avatar that could have stepped in. Like, if this was a white actor and Jackie Chan, but I think they both had to be minorities, I think, for it to work. Like, that way it was like almost like punching across as opposed to punching down, because we would have got a good hate into Carter if it was a white man being like, "I'm gonna go buy you a cup of noodles," like that. To me, it just doesn't read the same.
I'm gonna get you a box of chicken, sir.
Right. Like, Like it just felt like if it would just have to be like some over the top comedy, and this was a comedy, but it have to be super over the top for it to be like with a white person. But I think you're right. I think I was gonna say it's a black classic because I do think black people probably hold it in higher esteem. But I don't know. I don't really know if do white people fuck with Rush Hour? I know white people fuck with Jackie Chan.
I think so. I don't know if I would say it's a black classic.
Can't be because how many black movies you know got this many sequels? You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to have some. I think it's got to have some like some real star, either some real like staying power, and that comes with money. And I think the money is coming from the white folks.
Hold
Like I
up.
know we got Bad Boys, you
You
know, but like I
you
would say there's not
said
a lot
you
Is
said
that a
how many
black
black
movie?
movies?
like the black classics. So like let's for instance
The
like
Best
Soul Food.
Man.
The Best Man has two, what, a sequel and then a show, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A sequel and a show. So that is one.
Is that a
You
friend?
got, huh?
Go ahead, Chappell.
We'll spin back.
Yeah. So like
We'll
yeah.
spin
So it's
back.
got a sequel and a show. But like I guess like I don't know because like it's Beverly Hills Cop a black movie. It's got three sequels. Um, I don't know. To me it doesn't feel like there's enough black people for this to be a black classic. But
People,
maybe I'm wrong.
what people feel is a black movie is totally dependent upon who you're talking to. Even
Yes.
though
Yeah.
everybody be wrong if it's not me. Everybody that say it, unless they agree with what I say, they're wrong.
Okay. And me and you, we've talked about this before. I remember this coming up in one of our earlier conversations, me, you, and Jazz. So, like, again, for the people who weren't around
For
for
me,
that, yeah.
it has to be a black writer, a black director, and black leads. If it doesn't have all three of those components, I personally don't consider it a black film.
Okay. Okay. I would need to think about that a little bit longer. Not so much to say that like I disagree with you, because I definitely think if
No,
you
I
have
get it.
those things,
No,
yeah,
I
I
get it
definitely think
because
if you have those things, it's probably hard to make a case for it to not be a black movie. What I would need is the example of the movie that has those three things that's not a black movie, and I can't think of one off the top of my head.
you're not going to.
Mm,
There is I don't recall I can't recall it being those and it not being. But now you do
mm,
have movies where there's a black lead, where you have the black leads, but the director and the writers are white
mm.
in that. So like, okay, I'm just throw a movie out there. I don't know, Woman King. What do you think that is, Chappelle?
That's not a black movie. That's not a black movie.
Why not?
I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't put it to words, but that's not a black
Has it
movie.
it got a black direct
It's
it
a
got a black
it's a black ass movie for sure. But
it
I
got a
don't
black
know.
Can I give another
Yeah.
example? The Color Purple.
Okay. Yeah. That's a black movie. But The Color
Is
Purple is a
it?
black movie. Yeah, that's a black
Mm.
movie.
I don't consider it a black movie.
Really?
Now you see where we are with this and why Jason has his own rules and why nobody goes
What
by
you
their shit, which
mean?
is why I'm sitting here
It's
like
so
I will
okay.
tell him that he is
A
wrong.
white person writing about slavery, or I mean, writing about like Jim Crow slavery. Yeah, that's going to be easy for a white person to do that.
But
Even though they took it
but
from a
I
book, they took
thought
it from a.
yeah, I was gonna
It's a.
say I thought it was written
It
about
came from the story itself was written. The book itself was written by a black woman, but the movie, which is what Jazz is referring to, was written by a white man and directed by a white man. So no, the story, not the story. The story. I mean, is it just the story has to be black for it to be a black movie? Jazz, is that what you're riding with? Yeah, fuck that, Jazz. What is your definition of a black
My
film?
parameters are not as strict as yours.
Wouldn't ask you that. I said, what do you call a
I
black
don't
film?
need the
I said,
director to be black, and I don't need the writer to be black. Now
mm.
it needs to be led by black people and be a black story. Those two things are the requirements for me. But as in the writer being black and the director, no, those are not requirements for me.
I think I lean toward more what Jazz is saying. Like I understand what you got going, Jason, but I think your criteria would like
You
eliminate
eliminate
a lot of movies
movies.
because they wouldn't like it's not like
Oh,
people
you
were just
said
lining
shrug?
up.
You just
But
shrugging?
it wasn't like people were
Like
just lining
what?
up to let black people direct and tell our own stories
And
for
that's
so
an
long. So
exactly.
you needed
That's
like
fine.
the white medium to like to
That's
tell that
fine.
story, right? So
No,
like Django, I would consider like black as hell. but that's not a black movie by your definition. What Ray? Ray is black. That's a black movie, but that does not fit your criteria either. So you really do eliminate a lot.
What about
That's
what's love
fine.
got to do with it?
That's fine. A lot of the shit we just don't need anyway. You don't have to be. Yeah,
But
We don't need
these are.
Ray.
Do
do you see?
you need it? Why do we need Ray?
What do
We
you
don't.
mean? Why Ray Charles?
It's a biopic for that man. He
What
needs
is?
Ray. We don't need Ray.
He didn't make it
What?
for us. He can't see that shit. It was for his fans and people that I know that was fucked up. But you see where I'm going. I mean, you got a lot of. I
I
mean,
see
Jason,
where
we
you're
get
going.
a lot. We to say we don't like. Come on now, Jason. Let's be for real. These are people
I'm
that are
serious. I
icons
am.
in our culture. So to see their stories, the things that they went through, and how they were able to prevail, struggles that they went through, it could be very inspiring. Yes, you had a violin. Fuck you, nigga. But I'm just saying, it's just like those are stories that their fans. I enjoyed Ray. I thought Ray was a beautiful movie. So I'm
I
not
said
gonna
I
sit
didn't.
up here and be like,
I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't consider it a black classic. I would just consider it a
but no, no,
classic
no.
film.
Mm,
I don't like this. I don't like it, Jason. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Because I'm thinking that there's so many movies that tell like Dreamgirls. Ain't nothing white about
yeah,
Dreamgirls.
nothing except them outfits. Except
And
them
the
outfits.
and the director. Like that's it. That's it.
Yeah. So, but he
I
has
mean,
his
hell.
criterias.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. Well, my thing is like I want to know if white people are accepting of the movie as like one of their classics, right? So like for us, I think Rush Hour is universally like a black classic for like or as a classic movie that black people like. I don't know if white folks is really watching Rush Hour. I don't know the like what the public opinion is about the franchise. I know that like there are some movies that or there are some people even that are black famous. You know, like Morris Chestnut. Like white people still quite haven't quite figured out him, even though like if he walked into any black neighborhood, people would lose their mind. You know, so it's like things like that
You
where
think?
I
Wait,
feel
wait.
like
What do you think? Do you think Chris Tucker wouldn't land in the white neighborhoods? You think they wouldn't know who he was?
I think they would, but based on like the Fifth Element, you know, I don't think Rush Hour is the
But
reason
Really?
why.
okay, but in that now you're wrong. But in that, Chris Tucker. So is what's funny about that? What's funny about that, Chappelle, is the same thing as you're saying is what I tell people, but in the opposite way. I'd be like,
Uh-huh.
bro, I said Morris Chestnut is one of the biggest actors in for black people. He's been doing this shit
Absolutely.
for 30, 40 years. But I said, think about him in white TV though. When it comes to white TV, what has he done that was so big over there? I said, now in our stuff, he's led, he's background, he's done XYZ. But when it comes to you think about the crossover appeal, you don't really see. I think like the first time I really seen him, I can recall in my head was Kick Ass as the father of
Mm,
he took in a little white girl. But
yeah.
outside of that, you don't really see that. Now, Chris Tucker, on the other hand, Chris Tucker, while Fifth Element is definitely one of my favorites, I think Chris Tucker is more so known because of Friday. And I think that's why Friday is not just a black classic, but a classic movie. I think that movie crossed over. And everybody knows Smokey, but then the second reason is you also got Money Talks. Chris Tucker started doing all those movies. He started getting like 20 million a movie
Hmm.
when that shit wasn't even a thing yet. So he just had like he had that nice run. He did Jackie Brown with
Hmm.
Tarantino. Then he did Dead Presidents. Then he went to Friday. Then he went to I think Money Talks was first. Then he went to this. So he was on a crazy trajectory. He just kind of just skyrocketed. And then you got the comedy stuff, the Def Jam comedy run, his Def Jam comedy thing as well. So he was just like on the cusp, but I think he is a bit more white famous in just with then nigga. Then he did a video with Michael Jackson. Come on now.
I mean,
I I mean, if you was friends with Mike, you would be in his
He
videos
wanted
too.
but I don't know when they became friends. I just know this nigga was in the video. But
he
when
kicked with
Rush
the
Hour
wrong
2
leg in
came,
this
He
movie.
kicked with the wrong leg because
He
my
Mike
did.
bro,
corrected
my
him. Yeah,
He doesn't fix that though. He still kicks with the
but
right hand.
it's a
He's
joke,
left hand.
Jason, because
I
the
know, I
thing
know.
is like
My grandma said my grandma used to be so mad. I'm like, but grandma, he's just. I
because
mean,
that's
he might be left. He might be left-handed. Like,
yeah. But I mean, they friends. But I mean, if you look at Chris Tucker's catalog, it's quite diverse. Like
Hmm.
he has the action movies, he has the movies where it's like somewhat I would say race center. He was in Panther, which I completely forgot he was in that, and like you mentioned, Dead Presidents. And then his recent project was Air with Viola
yeah,
Davis, and
Hmm.
so I and he was in
Viola,
Viola.
that was, but that was about but that more about the Matt Damon and the other white
I
boy
mean, that
though.
was a project, and he was in Silver Linings Playbook.
I
Yeah,
So
remember that movie.
he was sprinkled around in some stuff. So you think he's white famous?
I think he's more famous, white famous than Morris Chestnut. Even though, but
then
Morris
Morris
Chestnut,
Chestnut, just Morris Chestnut.
but also, I think Morris Chestnut has like somehow they overlooked him because he was in those spaces. Morris
He
Chestnut had been on
would.
a
I
lot of
don't.
TV shows. He was like always one of those that guys for them. Like, oh, that's that black guy. Like, and so I think that he never really gets like a name for himself the way in like in their community like he did ours. And so my question for Chris Tucker is, of all the things that you named, I wonder if Rush Hour is one that stuck with white folks. Like, and I have to, and I'm inclined to believe that maybe it did, just because we get so many sequels. Because that, like I said, they love cutting off our stuff and being like, we not doing that. But when it is something with crossover appeal, I think it's more likely to get greenlit for Rush Hour 2 and 3. And then of course he's doing a movie with Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was at the
Right.
time like one of the biggest celebrities in the world. So yeah, I think Rush Hour is probably white famous, but I wouldn't know for sure.
Yeah. Because
But also it having an international appeal is definitely gonna push you there
yeah,
too.
and it was something different because you had Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in like Lethal Weapon, where you had that black cop and that white cop, but in this you
Hmm.
had a cop from China with a black cop. So it was
Hmm.
definitely different. So which is why, like, even though a lot of people say they couldn't be able to make this kind of movie today, I don't think the movie, like, it does have racist jokes, but I don't think it was very heavy handed. It
It
was
wasn't.
very entertaining, and I think it was a nice amount sprinkled through. I don't think they were doing too much with it. And if they decided to remake it today, I think it would be fine. You're gonna throw some gay jokes in there for sure.
They had gay
In
jokes
the
in
in
number
the
two.
second one.
Yeah, they had gay jokes in number two. Who? Okay, so
Oh,
question: if y'all had to
okay.
cast this today,
Ooh.
who would y'all cast in these roles? I know they used to do the joke with DC and the little Asian
No,
guy, but I wouldn't do DC as a lead.
I wouldn't.
I think DC would do a good background, but not as a lead.
I
And
don't know.
would they be black and Asian? Would it be would you pick other races?
I would
Um,
definitely pick a Latino.
yeah.
My like if I did it, if I wrote it, it would be so bad. And probably the other cop will be black. And I would throw a woman in there because we're gonna get some like sexist jokes because you got to.
So it'd be a
Yeah.
woman and a man,
Yeah.
a black woman and an Asian. I mean, a Latino man.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah.
You know, um, they remade what White Man Can't Jump not too long ago.
Yeah.
White Man
Mhm.
Can't Jump. And they had to do the race related jokes, and I thought they handled it pretty well. So
Yeah.
based on
I
that,
really enjoyed that
It
remake.
was
It was
good.
fun.
yeah,
It was
it was good.
whatever you want to call it. But they could have got it something different. I would have enjoyed it either way.
Exactly. And so I feel like if you can do that, then you can do this as well without making it like I think what it is like the racial jokes have to be aimed like at yourself. You kind of have to like make the joke at your own expense as opposed to the other's expense. And so that's what they were doing in White Men Can't Jump. He was kind of being like, "Oh, you don't like me because because I'm white and I shop at Whole Foods, like that kind of thing. Like, oh, because I look like I got this basketball from Trader Joe's, like he was making the jokes on his own as opposed to like Jackie Chan showing up here and he and Chris Tucker being like, "Let me drop you off at Panda Express." It would need to be like somebody being like, "Hey, Jackie Chan is sitting in the back seat like, so y'all got a Panda Express here?" Like something like that. Like, we gotta eat soul food for real. Like y'all ain't got no Panda Express. Like I think that way it would land a little bit better. So I don't know. I think it could be done. I don't know
Yeah.
who I would cast it as. Who is our new Chris Tucker type. Do we have one of those right now?
When it comes to comedy, nobody comes to mind for me. Like a favorite young comedian within the
Lil
past.
Rel?
He's all right, but I don't really be like laughing at him. He all
This nigga here,
right.
man. This nigga here, man.
Lil Rel? Uh,
Nah, probably
Jason,
not.
do we
Probably not.
have like a up and coming? I like is Lakeith Stanfield funny?
Uh,
Is he too old?
He's dry funny. He's not
old people
funny.
can be funny.
Yeah, no, I'm
He's
saying
dry.
is he too
He's
old for like
dry.
a role like this?
Yes, he
Oh,
is.
yeah,
He's too old
yeah.
for that. He's dry funny though. You need somebody early 30s, late 20s, for these roles personally.
I don't know. I can't think of nobody because all I do this every time we come on here, but the British people be stealing all our jobs, and so when I start to name
Cause
these actors,
he could. I mean, Damson could do it. I think Damson could do it.
He's British.
I know. I'm
I
just
think
saying.
Damson could do it. I think that
Damson
I was like,
could.
I want to be that guy to be
What
like
about
Damson.
okay, he's not what about Trevor Jackson?
No.
You don't
Wait,
think
hold
so?
on. Wait, from
What about he
you
was
talking
on
about from
From
Younger
Grownish?
Grownish?
from
Yeah,
Grownish,
from
yeah, Trevor
Grownish.
Jackson.
Maybe.
What
Maybe.
about Jacob Lattimore from The Shy?
I'm gonna be too busy lusting over him to
Okay,
be
well that's
laughing at his
not what we were
jokes.
asking about.
So hold on, Jason, but what about your dude
That nigga
RJ
from RJ
Seiler?
Silent.
Because he
I
was
like
Oh,
good in Book
RJ
of
could do it.
Clarence. I think
I
RJ
like
could do it.
it.
RJ. Yeah, RJ was fire. I
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah,
with RJ.
RJ could
Yeah,
do
I
it.
like
RJ, I think that's our guy. I think okay,
Yeah.
we got RJ, and now oh wait, we're not recasting this because Jazz said we gotta find a
But
We
that's
either
Latino.
just mine.
we
But
can
y'all have
we can do
yours.
a Latino or an
No, we
Asian. So
casting Jazz. Yeah, we casting Jazz movie.
we're
Okay.
casting Jasmine. We sitting there got the board. How do we feel about this? So of course, can it be a woman?
Yes. Jason about to say something sexist. Jason about to say some shit like women ain't funny. Go ahead.
They not. But I was gonna go
They
with
are, nigga. You
uh
show the back of your teeth
They are
every fucking
nigga.
week on this show.
She said, "I see the back molars." Oh my god.
I see future cavities be showing, nigga. You be laughing so hard.
damn, what's that? What's that damn
I'm not gonna say Keke Palmer. It's some other
we
actresses
said
out there.
Asian.
Oh wait,
An
yeah,
Asian
yeah.
woman?
Wait,
Stephanie,
wait.
I think
Who
I
did
think
we land
Stephanie
on?
I think
We landed on
Stephanie's
Latino man and Asian woman. Is that's the movie?
I think Stephanie Sue. She was in
She's funny. She was in Joyride and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
That heifer is funny.
in
Yeah, I like her.
Joyride. Who was
What?
And
the
then
lady that
mm,
was if y'all I don't so she was in Past Lives, but she was also in
She
the
was in that
studio. She was in the studio. She was the one that he made smoke the cigarette again. He kept messing
was
up her scene.
wasn't she in Beef?
oh, I love her. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she was in Beef too.
Was
Was
she
she
in
in
Beef?
Beef?
I think. Let me see. Her name is
Greta
Ali
Lee.
Wong.
Oh, Ali Wong. Yeah, those
Ali
two different
Wong
people
is
though.
not her. That's them two.
Yeah,
Ali
you
Wong
talking
is
about
not
Greta
her.
Greta Lee?
What?
Ali
Greta
Wong is
is she
good.
too?
Yeah, Ali
She's
Wong is
too old.
good.
I think she's too old
She
though.
she
She
might
might
be a
be.
pinch too old
Yeah.
for the role too. Dang, that's tough. Yeah, so yeah, that would be a very interesting movie because it's supposed to still be like this clash of cultures. And if you got like a Latino person and an Asian person, like I don't even know where they met up. Probably somewhere in LA
I'm
for
gonna be
sure.
honest. If that was, I wouldn't even watch that. I'd be like, who?
It would
What?
have to be LA. It would have to be
Gotta
LA.
be,
I mean,
gotta be.
because I mean, honestly, you could just pick who's the guy we picked?
CJ.
CJ
No,
Silent.
that was before we
No.
decided that it was a Latino man.
Well,
I
I don't even know what our cast
Because
is.
I think I said by default, if it was Black Asian, CJ, I mean, you would have to be a Shang-Chi, right? He had to be the
Oh,
cop.
Stephen Young, Stephen.
Not Steve. Well, you can get Steven too. Steven actually
Yeah,
could do it. Steven, he got the range to do it because he's funny as hell.
yeah,
Funny as
yeah,
hell might be
yeah.
a bit much.
Well,
Like
he
he
was also in
alright.
Beef, and he might be a little too old. But you, Simu
He
Liu,
is.
that's what you're
That's
talking about.
true.
Simi Lewis, who I was referring to. Simi Lou, I think he could do it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'm sure there is some. I'm sure you could make that movie happen. Like again, I just think it's just the way the comedy is presented. Pulling up to the Chinese theater and being like, "Okay, you like this, right? You might see some of your cousins." That don't work. That don't work anymore. Like in 2025, like I just
I
could you
know telling
imagine
who you
like
may
pulling up to
see.
a random project, me like, see, nigga, you like this? Like it wouldn't. Like,
Oh, man,
yeah,
that'd be crazy. It's like, they come in, they take them to like a blood or a crib neighborhood. Oh yeah, that'd be
yeah.
crazy. Like,
It's like the
"Hey,
racism from
bro."
Everybody Hates Chris, where the teacher is like, Chris, I would
Oh
have told your
man.
yeah, I would have told your parents to sign this, but I know your dad's not coming home and your mom works 3 jobs. And he's like, what? Like, like,
Yeah, she
like,
was super racist. His teacher was definitely hella racist.
yeah,
Hella racist, but she's so there for you, people.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
She used to be saying like some real wild stuff. She's like, "Oh my God, Chris, look what we're watching Africa. Some of your people may be there, right?" It's like,
Yeah. She was good. She was good. She was good. She definitely, he was like, my dad, I know my dad. She was like, sure you do. Sure you do. She's like, yes, you do, Chris.
I,
Yes,
I
you
feel
do.
like I shouldn't be laughing as hard, but oh shit.
No, that everybody hates Chris is underrated. Um,
it's one of
we
the
we
worst.
we didn't talk about that final fight scene. I really the one other line that really stood out to me in this movie that we haven't mentioned is when poor little Soo Young is like he's like repeat after me. He's like, all right, push the goddamn button. Like that is my moment. I love that so much. I remember dying laughing when I saw the movie in the theaters. So I remember dying laughing in the theaters, and then I definitely laughed at that and definitely be telling people to push the goddamn button all the time. I took that with me for
Yeah.
sure.
That is a
Yeah.
quote. That's definitely one of the quotes. Push the button. Push the goddamn button.
Yo, Jason say that shit when he's instigating.
Yeah,
Somebody be
push the
like, man,
goddamn
nah, I'm
button.
not gonna do that. Jason be like, push the goddamn button.
Push the
Push it.
button. Push the goddamn button. Blow us up. Push the
Right.
button.
Kill me.
Kill me.
I'm
Did you
ready to
like that?
die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's that? Damn, my brother and me hit me.
Hit
Hit.
me. Hit
I
me.
got
So I hit him. Yeah. Like, hey
next
man,
scene.
my brother and me only got like 8 episodes. Boy, I thought that show was in syndication for 10 years. I swear, I was like, season 4 of my brother and me used to slap. Bro, that's episode 4. That's episode 4. I was devastated when I found out my brother and me. I was like, what was I watching all those years? That show came on every day.
Man, they
Hey,
playing the same few episodes every day.
And I'm in that hole every time. Goo punch. I'm in goo punch.
um, but yeah, now they finally, of course, they get Soo Young, and of course, we start getting to the end of the film, which they kind of leave it off as if we can get them, but they were going to China when this movie ended, right?
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess it was on like 3 years from when this movie dropped to when the next one came out. So I guess it kind of made sense, But it's like they was on the plane when two came out, right?
Yeah. They was there. He was there visiting him because he was on vacation. So I feel like it just continued on to that trip, even though it was years since they came out with part two.
You think so? I don't know. I guess I never put that together that it was like the next day.
That's what
So
I'm
I,
saying.
I didn't realize it either until when I watched it today. I was just like, because Carter was like, you just working, like I'm here to visit you, trying to enjoy my time here. I don't think he just went to go visit Lee like every other like year. That seemed kind of crazy. But I don't know.
Yeah, seeing your homeboy in China in the 90s kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, who got China money? I mean, that man, like, what? China. I am planning a trip to Japan though. You niggas invited for sure if y'all want to
What
come.
year?
2027.
Oh hell
Okay,
yeah. Because I'm trying to
all
go
that's
out
off.
there.
Oh yeah, I've been planning a trip for niggas a long time, so I know you got to give them time. Okay, you got
This is
to
true. This is
you
true.
got to give them time. I'll let
Do
y'all.
they
I'll let y'all know about the
do
movies if
they
y'all want to
still
pull up.
have the Mario Karts
You
out
know that's what
there?
I do. That's the only reason I
Yeah.
want to go, man. That's the only reason I want to go. I have nothing else to do. They said, how long you gonna stay? I said about 11, 12 days. They said, oh, what you gonna do? Mario Kart. They said, every day, maybe,
I'm with that.
maybe.
I'm with
That's what I
that.
want to
I gotta
do.
get
Yeah,
there.
That'll be
I'm
dope.
gonna get there.
yeah. I'll send y'all the info. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Um, so the other thing that we talked about today, uh, and you've kind of made mention of it, Chappelle, without knowing you made mention of it. Talking about franchises. You're talking about
Mm.
movies and things of that nature. So what do you consider a franchise, Chappelle?
Chappelle
I
not no
mean,
movie guy. I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
I'm
that.
not.
He's not a movie
I'm
guy.
I'm not because for me, I'm
But
gonna
is he a definition guy? Because
yeah.
he don't have to be a movie guy to understand
He not
definitions.
about to look that shit up.
I mean, I can, but I
Don't,
definitely wasn't
don't,
going to.
don't.
Like, I definitely wasn't about to.
Jason's question was directed at the wrong person. No shade to
Oh
you,
well.
Chappelle, but
It
he
wasn't.
tried
So
to.
look, it's not. I'm just curious what you think. That's
So
it. It ain't
to
no.
me, I guess to me, like in my mind, because I'm not a movie person, the moment like you could have a movie. But the moment you start to branch out of that movie and create other like properties or whatever based on that movie, then that becomes the franchise. I don't know if that's the legal definition, but like for instance, if Rush Hour 1 is just Rush Hour 1, to me that's not the franchise. It's just Rush Hour. That's just a movie. That's just a thing that happened. But if there's now the Rush Hour TV show, then I'm like, okay, the Rush Hour franchise now exists. Or if there's a Rush Hour movie, Rush Hour 2, blah, 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 those are all a part of the franchise. Like the Star Wars is. You got the Star Wars movies, which are part of the franchise, but then the TV shows is a part of the franchise too. That's how I read it in my mind.
You're not wrong, Jazz. What do you feel to say?
I was about to say because technically a franchise, because we looked it up of what a franchise is and what a trilogy is.
Okay.
And so Jason says, if one movie, you said what if one movie
If it
has
branches out into other movies or even TV shows, but it's
so
like the same like subject matter or whatever. It's the same like concept. So it's not like if Chris Tucker went and did another cop movie or whatever with Jackie Chan and it had nothing to do with them like Rush Hour, then it don't count. But if it's like Chris Tucker goes and he does another movie and it's like Rush Hour 5, the Chris Tucker movie, and Jackie Chan's not in it, it's still Rush Hour.
right. So what if you have three Rush Hour movies and they created a series that doesn't have either one of our main characters?
To
They
me it has to be
recasted it.
canon. To me it has to be canon. It don't matter if it's the main characters or whatever, but it has to still follow the same universe rules. So like we were talking about the Equalizer. The Equalizer is the movie with Denzel Washington. But you bring in a Queen Latifah movie, she don't know Denzel Washington exists. That's not those two people don't live in the same universe. So all the spin-offs to the Equalizer, to me, that's not a part of that Equalizer movie franchise. That's just another franchise called the Equalizer. But they're not in the same they're not in the same family. They just rhyme.
However, whoever created Equalizer is getting paid off of their IP
Absolutely. Yeah.
because of those. So it's a friend. So it's technically it is a franchise. Now I get what you're saying, streamlined, but the franchise can be branched out and they can use it for different things because it's the same. The person does the same thing. They're no longer a cop, no longer this. They live in their life and they fighting crime from the house. That is the Equalizer. So it's under one umbrella. It's not like the Mummy, Brandon Fraser, or the Mummy, Tom Cruise. Now those two movies, same name, different things. They're not under the same umbrella at all. But then you got like the Mummy, then you got the Mummy video game, you got the Mummy, you got the Scorpion King, which is that's why the Mummy would be a franchise because Scorpion King came from that. Now we just give you the prequel of how The Rock became this person in that second movie that you barely got to see him in.
Okay. Okay. So to that, let's talk about Batman.
Mhm.
Is so Batman would be the whole franchise for all the Batmans, or is it just the Batman by the same, like with the same actor, with the same universe? Because then at that point, once you take that Batman and leave him there, and then you go make the next Batman, and you pull in a new actor and a new director, is that the different franchise? Like the Dark Knight
You're gonna
franchise is not the same as the Batman franchise, right?
So within that, that's just the Batman franchise. It doesn't matter where the entity goes because there's a million different. But then when you come to comics, it's a little bit different because there's comic books, there's toys, there's TV shows, there's movies, and all of that will be considered franchise because you took one entity and you began to branch it out into these different things and you sold it and you can make money from all of it. So
So
that will
Lego
be.
Batman is the same franchise as like the Suicide Squad, basically.
It's
No,
just it's the Batman franchise.
yeah,
That's just
yeah.
the
I'm not
franchise.
disputing. I'm literally like you.
Yeah,
Like
but
I'm
yeah,
learning
yeah. I
something
mean, I
today.
get
Yeah.
yes. Now continuity, that is a different conversation.
Yeah.
Would you fit to say, Jazz?
I wasn't finna say nothing.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't finna say nothing. I'm listening.
So a trilogy is a set of a franchise, which
Okay. Yeah.
so within that, it is a franchise.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
these three is the trilogy.
Right. So like
That's-
Scream is the franchise. Scream 1, 2, 3 is the trilogy.
yes, I don't know what would you call Scream
Scream is
one
a
through six?
franchise.
Yeah,
Scream
and
was
then
a
Scream one,
franchise
two,
once
three
it,
is a trilogy.
But the thing is, since you have three other films,
Then it's
you
no longer
don't.
a trilogy.
It's no longer a trilogy. Now, before
Right.
those other three films, if it just stayed at three, then I would say it's a trilogy. That's what I used to go off as a trilogy. You wouldn't have a franchise until you have four movies.
so anything beyond three, that's a friend that you call it franchise. You don't say trilogy. I mean, just I guess it's just I guess the verbiage. I guess I mean the word. You call
Yeah.
it.
I
I mean,
mean, because like you were talking about definition. I mean, once you say trilogy, I mean that's the three, right? So
yeah,
like Star Wars, the original Star Wars, the original trilogy is those three movies, and
Mhm.
then
they
everything
made
else is still a
prequels.
part of the franchise, right? But the original trilogy is still the original trilogy.
Mhm.
Okay. I ain't never seen the Star Warses, so I just be trying to like.
I don't even know if I would say Star Wars trilogy because they made the first three and then they did three prequels. So those
Yeah, that's what
prequels
I'm saying. The
left it to
original
where it's
trilogy is still the original trilogy, though. Like when they dropped, that was the Star Wars trilogy until the
before
prequels
you
came
got
out.
right until you got more
Hmm.
projects. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but it was still a franchise though.
And that's
Sure.
so the thing is where it comes with the franchise. And I would say shout out to Scream too, because when Randy was explaining a trilogy, he was like, you had your sequel, which is where he died, and then you had part three, which is now you have a trilogy. Once you get to
Hmm.
three projects, you are considered a trilogy. The word franchise wasn't used in that film, but we
Okay,
did look it up earlier today.
but
So,
when does a trilogy become a saga?
ooh, nigga, like the
You
Cell Saga,
know what I'm
like
saying? Like, yeah, like, when
what?
does it
A
become a
saga. So
saga?
a saga. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
What would you
So
what is a
I
saga,
would say
Jess?
the closest thing to a saga, because that's just like different levels that they're going through in that universe. So in my mind, I'm thinking Star Wars is the closest thing movie wise that I can think has sagas. And I could be
Yeah.
completely wrong, but I can't think of anything that has so
So
many projects as Star Wars unless you throw in the MCU.
So I think saga is just going to be like length of time that we're covering, right? So when I was in college, I was studying a lot of literature. That was the thing that's I was dumb, and so I was doing that. And so we would talk about like sagas being like the long epic stories. So
Right.
like Star Wars, of course, but Lord of the Rings would even be a saga.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, 7 books, 8 movies. That's a saga as well. And then if it were to continue the Fantastic Beasts, you can call all that saga. Well, when it's one story, so the story is like the journey, right? So like Luke Skywalker has a saga within Star Wars,
Yeah.
but all of Star Wars is not a saga because it doesn't tell the same story. There's different stories inside of it.
Right.
Uh, at least that's how I would understand. But again, I'm not a movie guy, but in book terms, that's where that would go.
Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. Jason, what do you think? You're gonna
Think
bring
a
up
saga
Dragon Ball
is?
Z,
I
like the
mean,
Cell Saga.
that's I mean that's what it came to, but it is just a long story of heroism. So any of them, Indiana Jones, I feel like. Well, not just, but it has to be one, right? It's somebody dealing with one continuous.
It doesn't have to be the same person. They could be in
Yeah,
the same universe, but it can be multiple stories
Oh
from
yeah,
what
like
from how Chappelle just
yeah.
explained.
yeah,
Ethan Hunt,
yeah,
James
yeah.
Bond.
Yeah, they're telling a story. Then yeah, I think with James Bond, it's to me James Bond feels like it's almost like in bottle episodes. Like the movies don't really like continue necessarily all the time. So it's kind of like James Bond, with Pierce Brosnan and James Bond, with
It
Daniel
changed.
Craig.
It changed with the character.
Yeah, they're almost like like almost like Sherlock Holmes, right? Like Sherlock Holmes is the most depicted fictional character of all time. And so but none of the stories do not go from beginning of Sherlock Holmes's life and tell all of his story. It's like one novel, one book one, trilogy, whatever, will tell this version, and then the next spinoff will create a whole different universe for Sherlock Holmes, or create a whole different storyline. And those would be like, if the longer they are, they can have the potential to be sagas, but they're not necessarily sagas. But I do like that you pointed out Dragon Ball Z, because I think that that's the thing too. Like Dragon Ball Z was like, obviously it had like almost like chapters in Dragon Ball Z where you would go from like, all right, we're telling the story of Goku, right? This is the story of Goku from Dragon Ball all the way through. And in the meantime, he's got these sagas that he's got to hit. 65 episodes to fight Cell, 45 episodes to get to Frieza. Like those are sagas. you
Fuck it,
know?
they just actually they made him an adult, then they killed him.
Yeah, but then even when he was dead, like he would still be alive sometimes. Like Goku died a bunch of times.
So many times.
He only died twice.
Okay.
He only died twice because you can't reach somebody back with the Dragon Ball after 2 times.
I mean, but he was even
That's
dead at points. Like he was alive and dead at the same time. Like
so technically he died. He got killed trying to help him fight his brother.
Mhm.
And then he got killed in the Cell fight. So those 2 times he couldn't technically come back alive. So he was dead, and they allowed him a pass to come to the Earth from.
Of course they did.
Mhm.
You
He didn't.
Can't leave Goku out there.
Technically, Boo killed the entire world. Actually,
Yeah,
so
he
it's
blew
like,
up.
we have to stop this nigga some kind of way. Send Goku back. He's killed everybody. It's like what? They're like, heaven is too full. What do we do?
So sagas make sense. They do. But yeah, I think it's easier to track than like a franchise. I think franchises could be like, once if you're using Batman, or you like even like Sherlock Holmes as an example, franchise could be anything. A line of toys is a part of the franchise.
You see that? Man, speaking of Sherlock Holmes, you see they got Morris Chestnut was in the Watson TV show.
Yeah.
Where Sherlock Holmes is dead, allegedly. And he's working. Well, he's Watson trying to figure out crimes and stuff. I never watched it. I don't know how I did.
So the issue here is that Sherlock, again, most depicted fictional character of all times, they took Watson, and instead of it being a crime show, he's a doctor. So now, because Watson has always been a doctor, that's the thing. But now he's a medical doctor. So it's basically House instead of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is mysteries about crimes and stuff like that. This is mysteries, like medical mysteries almost. We bring in Watson to be the, WebMD in the room. That's kind of how that worked. I watched the first, like I watched a bunch of it. I think I might have finished the whole first season. And I think it's been renewed for season 2.
I'm looking it up now, so I don't see it. Haven't seen it. But is it worth? Was it good though, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I won't say it was bad, but it's definitely like it's been done. It's House basically. Like you come in, and even like to an extent, it's like the Alex Cross books or movies or whatever, where like we're all trained professionals, but this nigga is just a little bit better than the rest of us, right? He can pick up on the small things. Watson's the same way. Like he can pick up on the tiny, because he's basically been trained by Sherlock Holmes, so he can pick up on the tiniest, nuanced little things and follow those threads to make them make sense in these medical mysteries. So I wouldn't say it's bad at all. And like I said, got 13 episodes, and I'm pretty sure
they got renewed for season 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's renewed for season 2. So people like it. Now, I don't know if that launches Morris Chestnut into white people fame, but he's been on other shows too. And like my boss did not know who Morris Chestnut was. I was like he knew who he was. Like he saw him and was like, I know him from stuff, but I was like, that's Ricky.
Right.
Like
that's Lance.
That's Rick. Like what?
And I believe he's now a reoccurring character in Reasonable Doubt as well, because he's going to be in the 3rd season. So
I think it's this 3rd. It's only 2 seasons out? I thought it was. I don't know.
I don't remember, but 3rd or 4th, regardless, very good show.
Okay.
Jason will be there.
Was there any other scene that y'all wanted to discuss from the movie?
No, I think we ran through all of that, the racism. Yeah, I can't think of nothing else within that. Did you have another scene, Jazz, that you wanted to touch on?
No, I think we was able to cover it. So
gotcha.
The reason why we are here, Chappell, I'm going to start with you. Was it good though?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. Like good, like award-winning good, or is it like, is this something that I can sit down without brain cells and watch it and be like, that was cool? I think in the time, I feel like Rush Hour was really good. Um, but I don't think this movie has a lot of substance. Even like if you think about the way they connect, in most movies where you got two people who are opposites, something has to happen to kind of join them together to where they feel like, all right, we got to team up. And they was just in the car listening to War and started to dance. And so,
You learn from Sinners that music is so powerful that it can bring people together.
yeah, but War,
Listen, I can't tell you
like,
which songs will do it, but I'm just
Wow.
yeah,
saying music will do it.
yeah,
You
yeah. So
wrong.
I'm like, so for me, it's fine. I don't know if I would call it good. Like if someone said, "Do you want to watch a good movie?" I don't know if I would be like, "Rush Hour is the movie for you."
Why Chappelle act like he don't? Was it good though? Yes or no,
No,
Chappelle?
no, Rush Hour was not good. Rush Hour was racist. It was contrived, and Jackie Chan should not be able to do those things. This black man was made a fool of throughout the entire movie. It was full of stereotypes, and Jackie Chan fighting with a vest full of C4 is crazy. So this is a bad movie. It
Oh,
doesn't make sense.
damn. He hated Django too, y'all. He hated Django too.
I did not. I said Django is a powerful love story, but I don't like the movie.
Okay.
It's good. Django is good. I just don't like it.
Y'all check out our Django episode. Chappelle was on there
Please
with
don't.
us.
Yeah, please don't check that out. I don't take nothing back. Damn it.
Jason, was it
Jazz.
good though? Oh, shit, you
Ooh.
asking me?
Okay.
Yes, I'm asking you. Was it
I'm
good though?
I'm gonna say yes, but I don't really think it aged that well.
What were the good parts?
So I enjoyed the scene when they were in the car doing the whole when he was teaching Carter some fight moves. I thought that scene was pretty I was like, oh, they're bonding. I mean, it's entertaining, but I would definitely say two is better than one.
Yeah, but it's one good.
I said yeah, Chappelle.
I just feel
What
like
you
you don't
talking about it?
believe that.
I feel like she.
No,
I
it's
ain't even
because
know.
Because like if I was like, okay, boom, Rush Hour. That's you said that's a good movie. What's the best parts? And you like, yeah, they was outside a car.
I
Talking
wasn't
about steal the
expecting you
gun.
to ask me because normally don't nobody ask me what was your favorite parts in the movie.
I just saying like, what are the best parts? Like if this is a good movie, like when you talk about Sinners, you like
Don't do that. Don't do
Sinners.
that. That's disrespectful
Nah,
to even
because
throw
Sinners
sinners in there
Sinners a
like
good movie,
the
right?
whole
So you
movie.
could be like, boom, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. These are the good things. What's your top five
What
Rush
scenes
Hour?
from I don't have
Rush.
the top five rush hour scenes.
I'm just saying it don't sound like a good movie to me if
Yo,
you can't name your top five.
anyway, Jason, was it good though?
It was. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I don't give a fuck about anything that Chappelle had a problem with.
I didn't look. I'm just
Look, because
saying it don't
I
sound like
get.
y'all believe in what y'all said.
I believe. I'm with
I
it.
believe.
I enjoyed it. I don't give a damn about any of that stuff. Movies like this, I feel like we need stuff like this. Like you can't just be racist for racist sake. Like it has to make sense. Like you having two people that don't necessarily know the cultural differences. I feel like it can play well when you're trying to figure stuff out. You like, hey, I'm gonna get something to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really eat Chinese food, so what you eat? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it would have been more of a, you know what I'm saying? Like you could play out there, like, but I don't like Popeyes. Like, hold on, who said I was gonna go to Popeyes? My nigga, like, damn, hold on, why you just assume
You see
that?
that new chicken the chicken Popeyes
The
wrap they
chicken
got?
wrap.
That shit look kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. If
Listen,
somebody suggested that, I'll be like, all right, let's
in
go.
that thing,
I wouldn't
in that
even
thing,
I wouldn't even think they was being racist in that moment. I would think they just saw the same picture I did.
a real one would tell you to go eat that. I'm gonna get one tomorrow. I know.
Hey,
Never
which
mind.
one you gonna get?
I can't go get one. I'm sorry. I about cheated on my diet that fast. No, I'm not. I'm gonna like the images on Instagram. I'll just put it like that.
How long you gonna die?
Uh,
For life? It's a life diet.
it's not a life diet. It's just Wait until it's ready, you know, and then we incubate it. We try to cook some things up, bro. It ain't
This
ready
nigga
yet.
think he Goku. Like, what?
It ain't ready yet.
And
Hyperbolic time chamber me, baby.
yeah,
Like it
yeah,
ain't ready. It ain't ready. It is not ready. Okay.
I get it,
It
man.
ain't
I
ready
get it,
yet.
man.
It
Cook,
just
man. You
ain't.
gotta cook.
If I go
You
get
gotta
one,
cook.
if I go get one, I'm gonna tag you. Be like, Chappelle, this shit ain't worth it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just lie to me.
But you gotta try out 4 of them. You can't just eat one and be like, yeah, this ain't
You
it.
think
They
I'm
gotta
gonna
be
order
they
one?
got-
My nigga, I be getting them shits in bundles. I do like 2 to 3 at a time. Yo, I have
You
a
was buying
very
up all
high
the chicken
metabolism.
sandwiches.
I was there.
I was
You said
outside.
what happened?
The
When the
chicken
chicken
sandwiches
sandwiches
from
drop, when the
Popeyes.
Popeyes hit the
Oh yeah,
streets.
I had one. I only had one.
That
It was
second
right
batch
before
was
that.
not good.
Well, see, I had it right before they said it was out of chicken.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. The
I didn't
third,
get this. I didn't get the second
the
batch.
the third batch is slept on because what you don't, because quiet as
He
it's
said
kept,
third batch.
because quiet as it's kept, they went back to the original recipe after all the smoke cleared. You know, they was like, oh yeah. So when people like, oh, it ain't the same. That's when they slid, you know, the old school chicken breast back in there. I said, oh. Okay, okay. We talk about we bringing back the great texts. We bringing back the recipes. You know, like those. So I'm just saying that third iteration, kind of like the Four Loco. That when it came back, they sprinkled a little bit every now and then. They were like a limited edition. Really, you had to be there.
You've
My
drunk in the Four
nigga.
Loco in
For
2025.
Loco?
No, not in 2025.
Oh,
Dear
okay. You said
God.
it sounded like you said a new batch, so I was just trying to
Yeah.
Yeah, I
make
mean,
sure
it was
you was.
new to the world, not new to this year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But what year was this?
I don't remember. I was drinking Four Loco. You think I knew what day it was?
He don't love himself.
A nigga was clearly down bad.
Right.
I've never had one, so I don't.
What?
I don't.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
do
you ain't
it.
never been. You ain't never been depressed. You ain't been real depressed. You think you
I
have. You
have,
haven't.
I have,
No,
but
not
I'm
a,
just not.
you know,
I'm
rock
not a
bottom
drink.
is
I'm not a drinker though. I'm not a drinker
rock
though. So.
bottom is when you look at crack and Four Loco and think, give me some of that Four Loco. You know, that's that's real rock bottom.
That nigga said Coke and no crack. He said crack. He didn't say
He
Coke.
said crack. He didn't say
crack.
coke. I wouldn't
Well,
judge him that much if he said coke. I'd be like, damn.
I said what I said. You know, like you got a choice to make, and you pick Four Loco, something's wrong.
Yeah,
It's
that bitch
Dutch.
looking at bitch looking like Pookie. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Four Loco can on the side of your like, what's happening?
What is
Chappelle was
going
like, I
on?
got us this
What is
whole
going?
turkey, and you ate all of it. But
Oh no. So we're unanimous that this ain't a good movie. Just for to be
no,
clear.
I
that
said
is.
it's good.
I
Yeah,
said
I
it
know,
was
but you didn't mean
good.
it. Your heart
I
wasn't
mean
in it.
it was. It was definitely in there. My
Yeah.
heart was
Okay.
definitely in it.
Chappelle is hating, and it's okay. He's anti-black.
I'm not anti-black. This movie, if anything, is anti-black. Racist ass movie. They got
Funny.
Jackie Chan in here saying nigga, but I'm anti-black.
Did you hate part 2?
I don't remember part two that well. I know they
That's
go to
right. You did
China.
say that.
I know they was in the massage parlor for a little bit. I know that little sexy lady in the dress. She was fighting too. Um, that's all I remember. Oh yeah, and then, of course the Michael Jackson moment. You know, get closer, come on, Lee, come on. You know, like I remember that,
Come on, man.
but I don't remember the plot. Like I could not tell you, I could not tell you who was in danger in that movie or what happened.
Ricky
I don't
Tan.
remember. I remember the name, but
Right.
I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. 2 is definitely better. I don't remember 3. I do not remember 3. And I did not watch the show. The show looks
Oh
terrible.
yeah,
The Rush Hour show.
Yeah.
Who was Carter in the Rush Hour show?
Some random looking nigga.
It was
Could he
some
be
random black guy.
could he be our Carter in the remake?
No, you keep him over there. If he didn't do good in the first attempt for a show, you can't bring him back for the second.
But you didn't watch it.
Obviously, nobody did. I'm not bringing him back.
That's anti-black. I'm looking
How?
because how you just gonna assume
My
because
brother
it-
and me and Rush Hour 2 got the same amount of episodes.
That's crazy.
What does that tell you, Chappelle?
It's called.
You bring that nigga back if you want to. Your second round of trying to get this a show.
I'm trying to see who that is. Hold on.
To
What's
be
his name?
fair, shows on Fox don't do well.
Especially black shows. If this is considered a black
I
show.
was gonna ask because
I guess not.
do you need to have a black director and a black writer for it to be a black show?
Dang, this man really didn't. I mean, Rush Hour really tanked his career.
Mm.
He was in MacGyver for a little bit.
You gonna bring him? If you were to do a Rush Hour today, are you gonna bring him to your movie to try?
He was in Stomp the Yard.
Who was he?
This nigga wasn't in Stomp the Yard.
Nobody remembers him except only people that's remembered is Columbus Short and Chris Brown. And he was only in 15 minutes of that movie, if
He
that.
was. He was. Laz Alonso was in that movie. Don't do Laz
Oh, he
Alonso.
was.
Don't do
Yeah.
him. That man's came
Hmm.
straight from what boys in the wait no Leprechaun in the Hood.
Lance Alonso has a pretty decent
No, can't
catalog.
be. Can't be decent. Can't be. Absolutely.
He
I refuse to believe it.
he was supporting in a lot of projects.
Yeah, but
He
were they decent projects?
so he was in Traffic, he was in Leprechaun in the Hood, he was in Just Right, he was Fast Furious 6, he was in Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not. You're not making a great case.
What you mean? I'm giving you us. He was in Down to Earth. He was in
Who,
Black
Laz
Lady
Alonso?
Sketch Show. Yes, he was in Harder They Fall, Constantine.
He
That
okay. I see it. It's picking up. It's picking up.
like what?
I just
Who
look.
was
I
that?
will never
Who was
forget
it?
him in Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
That
It's
movie
never.
was terrible. It was terrible.
I'm an apologist. I'm a Leprechaun Back to the Hood apologist. I am.
What? You like
I
that shit?
I grew up watching it. I ain't say it was good.
I'm
It's
sorry.
just
But
I
you
ain't say
want
it
to go
was
see
good.
you want to go see that Megan 2.0, it sound like.
Don't disrespect Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Another movie that had no black people involved in it except for the cast. Like the writers, the directors, none of that stuff was black. They were just like in the hood. We were like, bet.
Yeah.
And
That movie shouldn't have been made. And then they did Back to the Hood.
Back
Why
to
did
the
he
Hood is
go
the one I'm
back?
talking about. It's two different casts. They're not
Yeah.
a continuation. Yeah.
He went to
Leprechaun in the Hood is better than Leprechaun Back to the Hood by a lot. I think Leprechaun in
Ice-T
the
is in
Hood,
which one?
he's in
In,
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
okay.
Yeah. Back
Paige
to the Hood
Kennedy
is the
is
one
in.
with Laz Alonso.
Ain't Paige Kennedy in that one?
I think so. She's in the second one, yeah. I mean,
That's the guy. That's the guy.
no, that's it. No, that's it. I don't. Hold on.
He
I'm
was
I
looking
don't
also
at
in Rush
the
Hour.
Wikipedia.
I don't think so. You said
Yeah,
Paige.
Paige Kennedy is. Yeah. Oh yeah, Paige Kennedy is the one from Blue Mountain State. Yeah. Okay, I remember him. And Weeds.
Oh, he got killed
Yeah.
in that.
And Weeds.
Nine, Back to the Hood.
Everybody died in Back to the Hood except for Laz
The
Alonso and the
Then
lady.
the girl.
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody. Oh. No, somebody else survived too. I think there was like one other person, but everybody else died. It was bad too. Leprechaun was out there smoking weed. It was
Yeah.
real ghetto. Awful movie. I love it so much. I can't wait. Y'all gonna talk about it here?
No.
Hell no, we ain't doing that shit.
I mean, we gotta answer the hard questions. Was it good though? You know.
No. No.
But
So what do you
Rush
think
Hour.
though, Jazz?
You said what'd you call it?
What'd you think though?
Oh, I thought you said what's that shit though?
What's that shit though?
That's what I thought you said. My bad. What did you
Rush Hour
think
is, man. I
though?
gotta get time.
No, Rush Hour is good. Let's see. I do have a few.
Okay.
Have you seen said push the goddamn button? Classic quote. We
Mhm.
definitely mentioned that. C said, I can't wait to see the funny y'all have with this one.
Mhm.
And I had somebody else say, Tiger Beauty said classic Flames. So a lot of people provided positive feedback on Rush Hour. So it
Yeah,
might be considered a classic.
I like the movie. I like the movie. I've seen it probably a billion times. Like I said, all the quotes you can't. What is it? Never put your hands on a black man's radio. That's another one we didn't really talk about, but that one went far as well. But yeah, objectively speaking, I think it's just it's a movie that I like that might not necessarily be good. It's just I like it, and that's okay.
So you said it's not good, but you like it. So that means you like
Oh,
movies.
you can like bad movies. You absolutely can.
What's your favorite Chris Tucker movie?
Huh? I don't know.
That's a good
I guess
question.
Friday. I guess technically would be the easy answer, but I don't know if that's true. I guess I'd have to look at his whole little filmography.
His whole
Why is
little
it would
filmography. Why?
yeah, I think it would have to be Friday, like just off the rip, because when I think of Chris Tucker, that's the first role that pops in my mind. Then like I like Jackie Brown.
Mhm.
But you count that for him? I mean, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, for sure. Like you gotta give it to
5
him.
minutes.
Um, his feature debut was House Party 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked House Party 3. I don't remember House Party 3 vividly, but I liked it. While I watched it, I didn't hate it. I didn't like the one with IMX.
That's 4. I
Um,
like that one. I guess that's a
Yeah, I
movie
don't.
that
I'm
I
good on
like that
that.
wasn't
A
good.
bad movie that yeah, a bad movie that you like exactly. Silver Linings Playbook. I'm sorry, I seen that. With Bradley Cooper. So yeah, he's got
Mhm.
some decent films. I don't remember Dead Presidents, but I had the soundtrack.
It was good. Their
Yeah,
Presidents is really good.
and then I've seen the Fifth Element probably about 10 times or so, probably over my life. So yeah, I think Chris Tucker's filmography is probably underrated. Um, if you're just looking at the movies, and then he didn't do a lot of TV, it seems. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think I like all those movies better that I just named better than Rush Hour. You don't think so? I'm
You,
asking. I'm asking.
I mean, so I will say definitely Friday, of course.
Yeah,
Dead Presidents, yes. Fifth Element, yes. I'm gonna say Jackie Brown, yes.
that's what I'm
So
saying. Like it might be like a top half of his
yeah,
filmography. You know. Well, you
but
said two. Rush Hour 2 is better than that too.
right, I'd like Rush Hour 2 a lot more. Now I would ooh, because Rush
Yeah,
Hour 2 was funny.
I think you
So
really didn't like this movie that much. You
no,
know
we're
what I'm
not doing
saying?
this again.
You just pick like 10 movies and put it in front of them. So Jason, this is your favorite Chris Tucker movie?
No,
Top three?
no.
Top five?
Top five, yo.
But
My
five.
time. It'll be five, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It don't sound too good. I'm
Because I
glad
mean,
we all agree.
but so for me, you can consider his entire catalog,
Hmm.
but I feel like he has to either be number one, number two for you to have the conversation of his favorite. Because you're not going to pick the movie he was in for 3 minutes and say, "Oh, that's the one I like the most."
That's
Nigga, of
true.
course you did. It ain't got shit to do with him.
That's true. If it's like a lead role, like even like the Fifth Element, like he's a big part of that movie, but he's not like the biggest. Like
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah,
the main character. So yeah, maybe in like leading roles. I mean, technically he's not even the main character in Friday, and that's his most iconic role. Um,
he's number two though.
yeah. Yeah, I guess he would get second billing, maybe.
Who would you say?
Second villain.
Well, I figure like well, you gotta think about who all is in that movie. Like everybody's in that movie. Like John Witherspoon is in that movie. So I figure maybe him or Nia Long probably could have got it, but maybe it's Chris Tucker. Yeah, I'll give it to both of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I say
Yeah,
he probably number two. But yeah, yeah. But like again, that's just because Friday has an iconic cast. That wasn't me shitting on his role in Friday. But yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I think that like of his like leading man roles, this is one of the better ones for sure.
I
But I
prefer
mean,
I prefer Money Talks. That's my
Really?
favorite. Money Talks is my favorite.
I don't know, man.
I love that movie.
I've seen Money Talk, but it didn't like imprint on me the way Rush Hour did.
so that means you probably didn't even like Money Talk because you ain't like Rush Hour.
I don't dislike
Oh,
Rush
excuse
Hour.
me. You liked it, but you don't think it's a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think like
Okay.
I mean like what is your definition of good? You know, like that's kind of how I feel when we talk about movies like Rush Hour, where it's like it's funny. It was supposed to make me laugh. So if the job was to make me laugh, then it did a good job. But is it like a movie that I would have any critical acclaim for? No, it's not.
Okay.
Cause I know people right now like, boo, Chappell, he hate black folks. Like, okay, like I'm not jazz, stop it. And so, like, so that's why, like, let me clean this up.
I just be chilling. But like I was gonna say, like, even though with Fifth Element, he wasn't a major lead in that, every
Hmm.
time his character came on the screen, he stole the scene.
Absolutely.
So that's why I feel like, okay, you can definitely think Chris Chris Tucker's character in Fifth Element, even though he wasn't a lead in that. Corbin Dallas, Corbin, I got no water. I got no water, Corbin. Like it's like
Yeah.
every scene he was in, his character was hilarious.
Right.
And in that in Fifth Element, and especially if you see his earlier projects, very different character.
Hmm.
So because you can watch him in Dead Presidents, it's not the same person that he was in Fifth Element. Like he was
Yeah.
robbing a fucking armored truck in Dead Presidents.
Jason, if you're looking at Chris Tucker as an actor, what do you rank Chris Tucker like as like an actor? Like is like what like tier, I would say. I don't want you to like try to put a number on him because there's so many, but like would you say he's like with Will Smith, with some like who are you putting him with?
Mm.
Who am I putting him with?
Yeah, like if you had to put like actors and like so like you got your super A-list, like your S tier, it's probably like Will Smith, Denzel Washington, those people, right? Like it's like Chris Tucker, is he in that realm or is he like slightly below that or is he even further than
Nah,
that?
no, he's different. I feel like he did well in his. He is the comic relief guy, comedian guy in those films. Like I don't, Dead Presidents was probably the only serious role you're gonna see him really in. That
He
I
was
that I
dropping
can.
jokes in that movie. Like, yo, he was
You
dropping a lot
dropping
of jokes.
you dropping jokes don't make you not serious. You think funny niggas ain't be serious?
Jason, them niggas was him and Keith David trying to plan that damn
Man,
robbery. I'm so,
Keith David is
no,
so good.
Keith David
Um,
is amazing.
he's
He
so
said,
good.
I don't want that crackhead on this job. And then Chris Tucker, like, why we got this nigga in here? Like Chris Tucker, you go watch Dead Presidents again.
Mm.
His character was a comic relief,
I'll go check it out.
in
I'll
my
go check it
opinion.
out.
In my opinion.
I mean, he might, see, I mean, that's him. So I wouldn't put him up that high. Like, he
Okay.
could, yeah, he's just he was the hot guy in the '90s. He had the hot hand, and he
Uh-huh.
made what needed to work.
Jazz, Chris Tucker or Martin Lawrence?
Oh. Ah. I'm gonna go with Martin because I don't know what role that I can say Chris Tucker had me laughing more than that can compare to what Martin brought to life. Martin was
Mm.
so funny to me in life. So I don't know any like then again, possibly Fifth Element, but I had Martin more in life than you got Chris Tucker in Fifth Element. So but
What
he's
about
not beating him by like a long shot though. It's kind of close.
what about you, Jason? Chris Tucker or Martin Lawrence? And I guess you could go with like I guess better actor, but like or better like if you one gotta go, basically, like whose filmography are you keeping?
Damn. Oh, just my question
I'm
didn't
just, I'm
have all
just
them
I'm just posing
details.
I'm just posing a question. You can answer however you want. Just like different options.
Chris Tucker has better movies, but Martin is Martin. Uh, yeah,
Does Chris Tucker have better movies than Martin?
I'm looking it
in
up.
my opinion, yes.
You know what? He probably has less that are higher, like higher caliber. And Martin has so much more. It's like Martin, like the Walmart of movies. Like you could go in there, and Martin's in a lot of stuff, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
good
mean,
value
like
for what you get in. But like Chris Tucker, like does Martin doesn't have a fifth element. You know what I'm saying? Like he just doesn't.
But would you say that Martin's Fifth Element was life?
Life is life is better than most Chris Tucker movies. Yeah.
So I mean, like that's like I mean, because you got
Chris
Blue
Tucker should have been
Street,
in life. Where
National
was he at?
Security.
What's the one where he goes back in time? Um,
the night movie.
Oh,
the
yeah,
night.
I try not to remember that because that shit wasn't that good. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then the Big Mama's House
I
franchise.
don't think Chris Tucker has meet his. I don't think he has a better catalog than
I think
Martin.
I think he has because all them shit you
Like
just said, I never watch again.
like Death at a Funeral,
He
nigga.
got a
What?
lot. Martin got a
Like
lot of
Martin
work.
has a lot.
But is it like a lot of like B plus work versus like Chris Tucker got like A minus and A plus work?
Ah,
Like does his 5.6, rough like does his like 3.8 GPA beat Martin's like
man,
strong
listen.
3.5 over like this course of 10 years?
I
It's
mean,
not,
okay,
and
who
you
about
got
this? How about this? How
Boomerang
about
in
this?
there as well, and all the
Boomerang.
Bad Boys movie. I'm
All the
putting
Bad Boys
Martin.
movies.
I'm putting Martin over Chris Tucker
Bad Boys 2 or
catalog.
Rush Hour 2?
Ooh, Bad Boys too.
And that's gonna determine who's the better actor. I mean, the better person there. All the other shit,
You said he said, "Hey, erase all that other stuff. It's coming down to these sequels. Now, which sequel do you pick?"
Right.
I think Life is his best movie. I don't think there's nothing better than Life, but Bad Boys 2.
I'm gonna do Bad Boys 2 over Rush Hour 2 because there's not a scene in Rush Hour 2 that can amount to that shootout they had with the Haitians.
The
That shit
devil
was
is not
hilarious.
welcome here.
Like that was hilarious.
Blondie
So
Dread was not fucking with
he
them,
was
okay?
not.
He was not fucking with them. I guess so. I guess you're right. But yeah, and I agree. I agree. I think like if I had to pick one to do like give me an Oscar winning role, like an Oscar winning performance, I'm picking Chris Tucker. But those roles are not coming to him. Like, like not now. I think that Martin is like more consistently making good stuff. I think that Life, the Bad Boys franchise, Martin carries like all of like
Hold
Martin's the
on.
face of
So
everything that he's in almost.
Jazz, you have Martin's catalog pulled up right now, right?
Yes.
Give me the next. Give me the 5 movies after Bad Boys 2.
It's not in order, but
I was like
Oh,
like chronologically.
yeah, I gotta fix it.
I don't know. So Bad Boys 2 is 2003. And so then you got what? National Security is probably in there. Um, I'm looking. Roscoe Jenkins, it's 2008.
Oh, I
Wild
forgot
Hogs,
about that.
2007. Big Mama's House 2, 2006. Um, uh, I'm jumping around. I don't mean to though, because they're not like you said, they're not in
Yeah, it's
order.
not in order.
Yeah. Them the strongest. That's the good run, and then got Bad Boys 3 obviously, and Bad Boys in 2020. But my thing with Martin is though, looking at these roles, Martin is the face of all these movies. These movies are starring Martin Lawrence. We just talked about Chris Tucker. He
Right.
doesn't have a lot of like this is Chris Tucker's
Yeah.
movie. Even this movie, it's a buddy cop with him and Jackie Chan. He gets, but like if we're giving him credit for Fifth Element, and he's like the sixth maybe build person on that movie. Like I don't think he can like he don't have a national security and because that he just carries or Black Knight. I liked Black Knight. I'm sorry. I
I
don't
didn't like
care.
it either.
I like Black Knight. A thin line between love and hate. Like Martin was the face of a lot of classic movies.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, Dead Presidents, that was Lorenz Tate's movie, even though yes, you did have Chris Tucker in there, but that was Lorenz Tate's movie. So to try to,
Hmm.
even though I would say like I love Chris Tucker's character in Fifth Element, to try to be like Fifth Element up against Life, Martin was in Life a lot more. He brought more into that movie, and I saw his character more in that, and he showed me more. So that's why I would definitely put Life over Fifth Element.
Hmm.
Because I mean, Bruce Willis wasn't all that funny in that.
No.
It was like, all right, okay. But like Martin was funny in Life. Like, so
Yeah. Okay. So Chris Tucker, cool. He's solid.
yeah, he is. But trying to put him up against Martin.
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it until we talked about this, and I felt like they were moving in the same kind of like area at the time. But even if you just look at longevity, I don't know what Chris Tucker did after the early 2000s, but Martin had a storied career, and it does feel like we don't get as much Chris Tucker anymore.
Yeah,
Between Rush Hour 3 and Silver Linings Playlist, it's like 5-6 years, and then he's had like 2 movies here on his Wikipedia since then. So in that time, Martin would have made an entire franchise and then two Wild Hogs by then. So I don't know. I think Martin is one probably underrated.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But our Link of Thrones, Jason, do you have anything to add? Because your facial expression seems like you do.
he said underrated. I ain't in what exactly?
Probably just as a leading man. I think that he has so many of those films that we just went through. Like he is the star of all those films. Whereas there are like a lot of comedians who are the comedic relief. He is the star. He's the face of every like most of the movies that we named.
What's up?
I just, okay.
Like
I
I
thought
don't know.
I thought he was about to say something.
Yeah.
I just don't think those none of the movies he named was just very good. I mean, it just, I mean, yeah, he
But
was
Rush Hour
the
good?
lead.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, Wild Hogs, you seen that?
I seen the first one. I didn't see the second one.
Wow, what was it? Well, hold on, let me see something real quick.
That's
Because Rush Hour, because
yeah.
he started. Okay, look, let me go back because we can go back with Martin. He ain't got
Yeah.
that. He ain't got that much. All right, so um, do the right thing. He was, House Party, Bilal. Um, you got Boomerang, Bad Boys, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. You got Nothing to
Hmm.
Lose,
Which he
Life.
directed.
Mm.
Which one? Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, ain't nobody say Rebound. That was
Yeah, I
2005.
saw it.
He skipped over. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I
He
just
skipped.
Oh,
He
definitely.
skipped
I ain't see
over.
it. It was probably one of
I can
So
only
them.
Bad
cape
Boys. So you
for
got
I
Bad
can't
Boys
cape for
two.
Black Knight and
So Bad
Rebound.
Boys two is
Okay.
2003. So then you got
Okay.
Rebound, Big Mama House, which is rated lower than that. You got Open
Which is
Season,
crazy.
which is the cartoon, which
Okay.
I wouldn't even know who he was in it. Wild Hogs,
You know he was the
and then
bear.
Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Like you get, yeah,
He was Roscoe.
And he got beat up by Monique. Yo,
He
boo.
did.
Like,
And then Big Mama's House 2, like Death at a Funeral. The man was making movies. And like I said, he's not just like an ensemble cast person. He is the face of a lot of those movies.
yeah.
yeah, he definitely is the face. My eyes never seen here because I was not fit to go watch them shits. And y'all ain't seen them motherfuckers. You ain't
I
seen
I
no
ain't
did.
seen
damn.
Roscoe Jenkins.
No,
I ain't seen the second
you saying
Wild Hogs or
rebound.
the third
You
Big Mama's House.
saying rebound. Yeah, you see him and what's the boy name? Brandon
Oh, Brandon T. Jackson. Boy, I swear. Why they put Brandon T. Jackson in Big Mama's House 3?
he said they put him in a dress and that ended his career.
Did
He
he say
got a
that?
he got a show
Yeah.
on BT Plus, I think.
Yeah, he do.
There is some stupid show I was watching today, but they was making fun of Brandon T. Jackson. That shit had me dying. I like Brandon T. Jackson. He was in Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't his career did. I mean, I think Big Mama's 3 is after Percy Jackson, so maybe his career did die after that. But I don't think
Mm.
people in Hollywood was like, this nigga put on a dress. We not hiring him no more.
Right, because there's a lot of actors that be putting on dresses and they still be getting jobs. So
That was Martin's third Big Mama's house. Okay, so like let's be clear, like you can definitely have a career after you put on a dress.
exactly. But
Yeah. I think that was everything though, right?
Yeah,
There was
yes,
a tangent there, but
it
we
was
did that.
fun.
We did that. Chappelle, let the people know where to
Our
find
link
you.
of
Oh,
thrones
wait, we still
before
in
we
that?
get there. Yeah, I was trying to pivot, but you was making faces. So
You could have just let me make my face and go on about your business.
I mean, I want you to stand 10 toes down on whatever the hell you feeling. Don't be making no faces. The
Oh, I
people on
am
the
every
streams
time.
can't see it. So we need
Right.
to hear how you feeling. But our link of thrones, Chappelle, who do you have?
um,
And I
mhm.
know I didn't send you no template because I'm like, you done been on the show enough. So if you do not have your link of thrones yet,
I
I will
definitely
go
wasn't ready.
to
Yeah, I definitely was not
Jason.
ready. Yeah.
Yep. Jason, do you have your link of thrones ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Song. Is that the nigga name? Yeah, Song King Loong.
Mm.
Hold on. That should be an ass. Yeah, no, he was in The Last Airbender, Avatar.
Oh, he was in the movie or the
The
little
the the
show that
the,
came out on
the,
Netflix.
t the TV show on Netflix, the
Okay,
live action.
I like that thing, the live action show. That's supposed to come back for a season 2 soon too.
Yep, season 3 too.
Okay, okay.
You gotta get
Nerd.
Uh,
them film while they see it look like kids, because them niggas, you see what happened to Stranger Things? Them niggas look strange.
they is old as hell. Kids is old as hell. Them kids got
Yo,
kids.
to say they look strange because
That's why
they
they call it
growing
that.
up.
That's why they call it Stranger Things because them kids look weird.
That's
Um,
crazy.
especially Millie Bobby Brown. Anyway, um, huh. Well, we already
Yeah.
talked about Johnson as Miss Lady from La Bamba. Um, but let's see who in here that I can pick. Jazz, do you have a Link of Thrones?
I do.
Who you got?
I'll take Clive. His name is Chris Penn. He was in
Mm-hmm.
Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Um, there's a lot of like well-known actors in this. I'm sitting here looking at the Wikipedia. Even the captain, Philip Baker Hall. I was looking at his stuff and I was like, oh, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah.
He was in Boogie Nights. He was in Bruce Almighty. I was like, he
This
one of
nigga
them
on.
actors where you'd be like, oh, I remember him, but you can't remember where you remember him from.
Mm-hmm.
But he passed away in 2022 at the age of 90.
Damn. Oh, well,
Damn.
90. Yeah.
Yeah, 90. Lived a long
RIP.
life.
Yeah.
Big Mama is 90 from Big
Yep.
Mama House.
Huh?
Big Mama from Big Mama House. I mean, from Big Mama House. Soul Food. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said it. What is that canon? Okay, I see what you're saying. Big Mama. Yeah, is she still acting?
I hope not. I mean, I don't know what you're doing.
Hey, a lot of them actors don't stop acting. They just act like that's how you know it ain't that lucrative because they be acting well into their old age, and it's like, hey, you should be able to retire by now, and they just cannot. Um, and I
Cicely
don't know if
Tyson was acting till
yep,
all the way.
all the way, never
I think
stopped.
I think it depends on how big you got at it.
Cicely Tyson was 96 when she died. I'm pretty sure her last role was like when she was 95.
A Tyler Perry movie at that. I'm not gonna say which one it was, but I'm sorry. Chappelle, what was so are you picking Philip Baker Hall
Yeah.
and which movie?
Hmm. I think I had said Boogie Nights at first. I
Boogie
think
Nights?
that's
Okay.
where, yeah, that's where I
All
landed.
right.
Yeah.
I'll put that down. Thank you. But now, Jason, we can close this out. Chappelle, if you wanted to plug your podcast, let the folks know where they could find you and when you drop new episodes.
We just hit 2,000 subscribers on Recap Kickback's YouTube page. So go to youtube.com/@ Recap Kickback to keep up with my podcast. Thank y'all so much for having me over here. I love y'all so much and y'all's podcast so much and all the fun conversations y'all's Instagram stuff be having me rolling because y'all be wilding. And so anytime I get a chance to come over here and act a fool, I'm gonna do it. But as far as on my podcast, every week, Mari and I are talking about different movies as they drop. We just talked about Shadow Force, the Kerry Washington movie. And so that episode will be out on Thursday, June 5th. And then, like I said, we are doing a complete Flavor of Love rewatch podcast where I'm going to just, it's going to be me primarily, and I'm bringing in a special guest for every episode to talk about any episode of Flavor of Love. And we're going to work our way through Flavor of Love season 1 and 2. And then we might even slide over to I Love New York if I haven't gotten fired by then. But you got to check me out by subscribing to the podcast, recapkickback.com/subscribe or youtube.com/@recapkickback.
Shadow Force. Was it good though?
No, so it wasn't bad. It's the same thing I'm about to say about Rush Hour. If you wanted like a little fun spy movie that like it's funny, like if that's what it was supposed to give you, like this like kind of like fun spy versus spy type feel, then that's good. It delivered what it was supposed to deliver. Was it like something that people are going is going to be critically acclaimed? Was the acting out of control? It was fine. It was fine.
Did you see that Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz movie that dropped this year?
Did I watch that? I don't know. What was it called?
I don't
Oh
know.
God.
I feel like I did watch that. I feel like I saw that. Back in Action. I did watch that. Yeah. Spy versus
Bet
Spy. Yeah, I
better
saw that
movie.
one too.
Better
Huh?
movie. Better movie. What you
Oh, um, I think the ooh,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
They
think
got what's up?
Shadow Force is more memorable. I cannot remember Back in Action. I didn't even remember. If you asked me if I seen it, I literally didn't remember watching it until now that I'm looking at it. But I think that Shadow Force had more that like stood out for it. It made it like kind of like it made it like almost like individualized. Like you will remember the movie based on the actions of the movie. But like Back in Action, it could have been anything.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I forgot I watched that. Yeah, you can catch me on my other podcast, Nothing But Netflix. It's on the nothingbutpod.com where I go in and watch whatever's new and popping on Netflix every week. So I did talk about Back in Action on the Nothing But Netflix podcast. This week we talked about Sirens with my special guests Jess Sterling and AJ Mass. They came on and talked about Sirens, the show with Julianne Moore and the other rich white ladies. And so 5 episodes on Netflix, quick and dirty. And then I think next week we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal's docu-series that he got
I
coming
seen
out.
that.
Yeah, and so yeah, I'm gonna check that out too. But yeah, that's on nothingbutpod.com. That's where you can go to subscribe. And of course you can check that on the We Know Reality TV.com YouTube page as well.
Nice. That's what's up, man. But shout out to you and everything you got going on. Definitely looking out, checking out everything you got going on, and keep making sure we get that plugged and shared as
Yeah.
well, sir.
Come holler at me.
Um,
Come join me. It's gonna be we're having fun over there sometimes.
I think so. Right now, I think Set It Off. You can go watch the Set It Off. It was our last episode.
Mm.
Next week we're getting into our Netflix bag ourselves, and we finally
Hey.
talking about Justin and Keisha. We can talk about forever.
Hey. Okay. You already watched the whole thing? You already watched it?
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
we
I
already
got
watched it.
a day and a half, if that.
Mm. Okay.
Mm, yeah,
Okay.
that show
All
had me in
right.
my feelings.
I can't wait to check that out. I can't wait to listen.
It had
Yeah,
me responding to texts faster. Just for 48 hours though.
Had me blocking people.
shit, that's all they was doing, wasn't it?
Right. I was like, the kids all right. They know.
You breathing hard, blocked. You ain't got to worry
Block.
about it. You ain't got to worry about it no more.
Block. You ain't got to worry about me no more. Block.
No, that is so petty.
Block. Keisha taught
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah, not Keisha.
Keisha taught me.
But yeah, now episode 4 was I find I was like, okay, we here now. We here now. But yeah, we go. That's going to be an interesting episode. We got a couple of people that's never been on the show.
Okay.
That should be on here. So I'm getting indigestion as I'm trying to do this. You see this shit?
Right. Nigga, you jinxing this. Nigga, I had no guest next week. I'm like,
Hey,
Jason over
look,
here.
let me
Right,
knock on wood.
right.
Let me knock on wood. Hey, because
That's
I got a
why
lot to say. It's okay. I got a lot to say anyway. So regardless, got a guest or not, Jason's gonna have a lot to say. So
It's
I'd much
like
rather be some people we can bounce it off of.
it's either gonna be toxic or it's gonna be like supporting Black love. I have no idea.
Who do you? Okay, so Chappell, based on what she just said, which one of us would be the toxic side?
Jazz is usually the toxic side, so I don't want to just,
Do you really believe that, Chappelle?
Do you really believe Rush Hour is a good movie?
Answer my question first.
My answer is the same as yours.
I don't think they are. It was like, which one is more toxic between me and Jason?
I said what I said.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't
That's
think
how-
nobody's gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with that, Jazz. But it's okay,
And that's
It's
okay.
fine.
And that's fine.
So you're sitting up here saying that I'm more toxic than you?
On the podcast, yes, podcast Jazz is way more toxic than me.
Oh yeah, a menace.
That's wild. All right,
She said that's crazy.
that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's okay
Oh.
though. It's okay. We appreciate you for your toxicity and everything you bring to.
I,
Ooh. I got a question. I got to go do this podcast this weekend. I'm doing the scenario with Van Everett on Scenario Radio Podcast. And we're supposed to be talking about the greatest black movie of the century.
Yes,
Yeah. Jazz, you gonna be there too?
I am. I'm gonna be
Okay,
there.
well shit. I'll see you this weekend. But yeah, that's another thing that I guess I should plug is that Jazz and I will be over on the scenario. I need to figure out what movie I'm gonna cape for. I think I have a good idea, but I haven't figured out all my points yet.
I'm a.
Are people gonna pick and people? What if people pick the same movie?
He didn't say, and that was my first thought too. I was like, somebody gonna pick this one. And so that's why I'm kind of like,
I'm gonna have a few in the tuck. Now, if
Mhm.
all of mine get picked and I'm the last one, I'm gonna be like, all right, so every point that I wanted to make has already been said. So
just come with some, be ready to defend your movie.
Tyler Perry on deck.
Yeah.
I got you a list.
Don't let them know that you helping me. This nigga said dope. Fuck them kids.
Chappelle. Have you seen Moonlight?
You don't see Moonlight? I don't think so.
Okay, I can't ask you the question then. Never mind. It's okay.
Oh, what you gonna ask me? Is it a black movie?
You pity. However,
He's not.
Oh,
That was a
but-
valid question.
what's a better movie between? Come on now, we know Moonlight was. That's all niggas. What was a better movie between Moonlight and Dope?
He don't know if he's
If you
seen
seen Dope.
Moonlight.
I don't think I've seen Moonlight. I don't know. I don't know Moonlight like that. I remember when they dropped, it was like people was talking about it, but I never went and stopped and down and like went to go watch it.
Have you seen Dope?
Probably not.
Mm. Okay. Well,
Like I know I haven't seen Moonlight. I might have seen Dope.
And And if you might have seen it, it didn't leave no imprint, which is very telling.
Okay, so I know Jazz not coming in to defend dope on this weekend on the
It's-
scenario.
You never know. You never know. You never know. But
That's what she gonna. That's what she will win it.
fuck out of here. It's not a
Underrated-
competition.
Underrated things fly under the radar, and that's one of them.
Okay.
All right.
But Jason won't be on the podcast, so I'm just gonna listen to it once she come out.
I'm
Let's
excited.
see what your nigga did, so I can go on it. Come in like, nope. Watch my. If somebody pick Ray, I'm gonna be mad.
Ray not from this century.
It is though.
Is it? What year Ray dropped? Oh,
2004.
oh, 4. Oh, 4. You're right. Man. Whew.
It's a lot of movies.
You can pick
Yeah.
Ali.
You could. If you think it's the best black movie of the century.
The Blackening. Mic
Top
drop.
5. Top 5.
Top
Top
5,
5.
dead or alive.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. If I pick the movie, because I'm not gonna be on the show, it would have been Get Out, Harder They Fall, and probably Black Panther. Those would be my top 3. I would have picked one of them. But y'all have fun if
Those are on my list for sure, but I know which one I'm going with.
I'm not going to say what I'm going with because Chappell's going to be on the episode as well. So I'm going to keep.
I don't want you to. I want you to. I want to hear when you get your thoughts so I can see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Jazz is last and everybody cooked before her.
So the good thing is normally they let the ladies go first. So, the patriarchy didn't win in this time, but we're going to see. I might end up getting a text on Thursday like, yeah, we don't need you no more. And then I'm gonna come back next week like, so yeah, that.
So
I ain't in up on that shit.
It fell through.
Nah, Jason, this section of the pod episode will not be in it. I'm editing next week.
Gone. Yep, didn't make it. Did not make it. She gonna have that bitch sitting render just waiting for that shit to happen. Like, cut that bitch out and put this bitch back in there. There you go.
And that episode 20 minutes shorter.
Damn, why she laughing like that? Shit. Shit. You'll never know. You'll never know. But this is episode 156. We appreciate everybody for listening, tapping in, checking in with us. Like I said, we do have a Discord. You can join that. We dug through a lot of different stuff on there: sports, music. Jazz added a channel that seems to get the people going. So
that's the one y'all was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You see what kind of chat she need to do for people to get engaged.
Sex sales,
toxic.
Sex sales.
And you know what? She's not even a producer. She just gave a name. She just gave a name for it and just dipped. That's crazy.
Nah, that's not true. I'd be lying.
That was funny.
Got the aunties over there running wild.
Look, they need a space to be free. It's all good. Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot I was recording. You're supposed to remind me. But yes,
it's episode 156, Rush Hour. We appreciate everybody for checking us out and listening. I am Jason.
I am Jazz. 3 years in the game. Whoop whoop. Chappell, thank you so much for joining us. I thought this was going to be our 3-year episode, but it's not.
It's not, and that's okay.
It's okay. Next week. But yes, y'all please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. Until next time, cheers.
Dude.